Hey folks, alcaras here with a continuation of part 2 of IceMatrix versus Kiriyama. We left off last time that Kiriyama had attacked into Greece and forced IceMatrix to pull forces back down from the north. There was a bunch of units traded back and forth. We can take a look at units lost. Greece lost 13 units, Kiriyama lost 10. Greece has produced 19 units, Kiriyama only 14. So lots of trading back and forth. We can look at the military graph as well. See a power spike drop. Rome definitely was bettered in the encounter. He does have a hero ruler though, and potentially can push in again. He did get Maceman. Ideally, he would have waited to upgrade to Maceman a little bit before going in. Unfortunately for him, Greece also has Maceman now and is pumping them out as quickly as he can and upgrading what he can. So we'll see what happens here with part 2. The players have agreed to play the first turn as they reacquaint themselves here on turn 86 without a turn timer. So and then after that they'll start the turn timer. So yeah, I mean, I think there's a pretty big science lead here for Greece right now. We can see Greece has kind of started going to the moon, 154 versus 90. They were pretty close, even an advantage for Rome early on. Kiriyama also had some challenges clearing some of his tribal sites. He made some mistakes in terms of splitting armies and having like 2 or 3 units trying to clear, and he's still kind of doing it up here, 2 or 3 units trying to clear each site independently instead of having more focused clearing. He did do better expansion. He is on more cities right now, 10 cities to 7, compared to IceMatrix. But yeah, I mean, I think at this point, it's looking pretty favorably for IceMatrix, although of course things can go either way. And it'll be really curious to see whether IceMatrix improves his scouting. Like he didn't even see Kiriyama settle here. Kind of just settled without him being aware and then walked over and attacked his champion seat. Also was lucky that this was the champion seat so that it was a little harder for that city to fall. All right, IceMatrix is going to start his moves without a timer for the first round. But yeah, I mean, I think one question is, he's held off the attack. Is he going to counterattack and try to end the game, or is he just going to like sort of wall off and continue doing his own thing, maybe expand with the north, expand this way? Really curious to see which way things will go here. So hopefully you're joining. The science breakdown for Greece is primarily coming from his capital. He's got an intelligent ruler as well, which really helps. So his hero has kind of an odd set of stats. She is eloquent, intelligent, and swift. Eloquent and intelligence are traits you usually don't see on a hero, but it's definitely helping out because that intelligent is giving a lot of science in each of those cities. In fact, let's see, he's got a legendary city. He'd get a legendary city pretty quickly. 3 strong cities, 2 developing cities, a weak city. So that's 4 from the intelligent plus again because they're not actually the governor, right? So yeah, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that's 10 from intelligent itself. And then he's got pretty good specialist game. Like if we compare specialist count here, we see there's a pretty significant lead in terms of actual specialists outside of like minors. So if we look at urban specialists, Kiriyama just has 2 apprentice acolytes, a master acolyte, elder acolyte, an officer, and 4 poets and an elder poet, where IceMatrix has a lot more urban specialists, 4 elder poets, a master poet, an apprentice poet, 2 master officers, 2 apprentice officers, an apprentice acolyte. Kiriyama's really gone into some of these rural specialists, which is an interesting play. Especially, I'm not really a fan of rural specialists on unimproved non-resource tiles. There are uses for it, but generally it's not the best use of specialists. So part of it, I think, is just better science, and he also has significantly outwondered. He does have the museum, which is helping, especially for Pella science as well. Museum is giving him. Actually, where did he build that museum? The museum is in Thessaloniki. It's actually in his. It almost got sniped, but it's making his champion seat get 50% more science as well. So just all around pretty solid eco play from IceMatrix. A little bit slow on the expansion, turn 86 with 7 cities, and of course dealing with these tribal raids, reacquainting himself with the turn here. Doesn't really have great vision of what's going on with Rome, so we'll see how things go here. And yes, hello folks in the chat. Back to great to see you. Twelve orders left here. Looks like he's pretty much See if I can see what he's done. He also had a huge earthquake hit right before Rome attacked, which still, I think there's still some things that he's fixing from that. Farms that got raised. Looks like he's attacking some of these raiders over here. The Numidians are raiding him. He didn't meet them until very long. Pretty atrocious scouting, honestly, from IceMatrix. He just kind of did his thing, didn't even look at where his opponent was. Kiriyama didn't do that much better, but did have at least, didn't really scout that much either towards IceMatrix. So the two players did not really interact with each other until turn 80. I think they almost took a break right when they met, and then they played on, fortunately, for a little bit more, which was nice for the folks watching part one. So we actually got some payoff after all that slow build-up. And this is a lower round game, so whoever loses this game will be sadly out of the tournament, and the winner will advance and play. Let's see here. Check. Advance and play. Loser of game 25, which is whoever loses to scientific, or scientific if scientific loses. So that will either be one of seasoned, cycle 4x, or scientific. So the loser of scientific versus seasoned or cycle 4x. We'll see who that will be. So. Okay, so that finishes IceMatrix's turn. Looks like sort of just a sort of eco development play here. He's got some improvements underway, 12 improvements actually. It's a lot after holding an attack. A lot of orders to put into improvements, getting hamlets, getting ranges, getting some mines up. Hasn't repaired that yet. Getting some more mines over here. Getting a chariot out. Tech-wise, we can take a look at the tech for players. Pretty good coverage here. He got scholarship pretty early. Well, not that early, turn 80. So I think he's building libraries. I don't actually see any libraries in the cap. Okay, there is a library right there. I don't see a library in the champion seat, which is actually his second city science-wise. No, it's his third city science-wise, because there's this artisan city. We went artisan cap and then artisan city, and founded Sage's relatively late as well. And Sage's seat is somewhat confused, in my opinion, because it's doing military production, it's got some barracks, but it's also building a library. I would have expected more kind of eco play, but I guess there's 2 ore here that he wants to bring into borders. All right, looks like it's over on Kiriyama's turn. Let's see what they do with their 30 orders. And Kiriyama, not unfortunately, but Kiriyama's interface is in Russian here because observers take on the language of the person they're observing. So whatever language the client is in is what we will see, which does make it a little bit harder for me to follow along because I don't read Russian, but fortunately I'm able to identify all the icons and see what's going on. We can also look at Kiriyama's text tree. Similar-ish wise, pretty similar text. Getting portcullis, that might be interesting to see. Yeah, neither player has had any significant Grand Viziers, I think. Portcullis already there from IceMatrix, although he has not set up any agents. So would love to see a scout going deep in and setting up some agents. He does have, doesn't really have that much cash, but theoretically could sell some of his stockpiles to get some agents up. So I don't expect Kiriyama to move in here. He does have this ballista back here. He does have a free ballista, and I don't believe Greece took the free ballista card. So this ballista could do a lot of damage to the infantry units here. So we can see it does like 13 damage to an archer, 9 damage to a maceman in a forest. Yeah, so it's a pretty powerful unit. You will need to protect it and make sure that it doesn't get sniped. But I guess it's only really vulnerable to melee horse, of which there's just a chariot up here and another chariot coming out. So 28 orders here for Kiriyama. Let's see what they do with them. He is roading. He's also dealing with some family opinion issues, if I could remember correctly. His landowners really hate his guts because I think they only have 3 cities. And yeah, the discontent is pretty high. The landowners and their leader just hates this guy's guts as well. Their ruler's guts. So these landowners have grabbed these mines, so we've got pretty good training, 19-20 training out of this, and he's dealing with some rebels though from these landowners, and Maceman rebel is really, really nasty to deal with. Yeah, he did have some settlers to go, but wasn't able to clear any of these tiles, any of these things. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, kind of unfocused in their clearing attempts. They tried to clear 4 or 3 different sites at once. Finally, when they did group up their forces here, they cleared the Thracian sites and then pushed right into Greece. In between the turns, the players did message me some thoughts. Of course, I did not give them any advice or thoughts during the game, but they were like, Kiriyama did say, I rushed the attack on Greece and now have no military advantage. My only hope is to capture the center, spend a little more time developing my army, and try a second attack. In contrast, IceMatrix said, that was intense. I know I'm not playing soundly. A more experienced player would have destroyed me, but it's fun. Learning, not used to duels. I always play at max difficulty, and learning how to reprioritize has been hard. It's like, told myself going in, I want to get 4 laws and still don't have them. And indeed, he is at 3 laws right now. Sometimes just didn't materialize, so they want something more and should have scouted more, he said, which is very much true. So 17 orders here from Rome. We will see what's going on. This, I believe, is Ishtar, I think. Yes, this is Ishtar. So Rome is 1 turn away from Ishtar, which will help a good amount. I guess he has 4 weak cities, so that'll let him rush in any of those weak cities, including, of course, these very important frontline cities that are all weak. So he'll be able to rush here, although doesn't have very many resources with which to rush. Lots of unassigned luxuries, which is easy to miss in the heat of a network game. Could fix this family opinion with luxuries directly if he needed to. He is influencing this. What is he doing? He's I'm sorry, I'm not sure what this is. Yeah, so he is running some sort of mission on his leader, but I couldn't tell you what it is. We can maybe poke over here and see if I can hover over. No, I don't get to see the mission without being on that player's turn. All right, so 9 orders left, and then the players will start the turn timer. He does have his hero here on an urban tile with a maceman. Would like to see it in the city just out of paranoia, mostly because if you get your hero sniped, that's very, very painful. Yeah, he's also dealing with this Thracian attack here. Should be able to handle it relatively easily. Both players kind of engaging with the middle of the map, kind of an interesting middle of the map, kind of walled off in this sort of mountain valley thing that they've got going. Welcome any questions from chat or things that people would like to see graph-wise. I can sort of look through some of these graphs. Civics, slight advantage to Greece. Training, obvious advantage to Rome. Culture, obvious advantage to Greece. Science, Greece is sort of, they were pretty even, and then Greece took off. Money, both players are not doing great. Orders, slight advantage for Greece, surprisingly. Food, Greece. Iron, Rome. Stone, by far Greece. And wood, I don't think there's too many lumber mills up for Rome, despite having lumber mills. Military score, pretty significant, like pretty consistent advantage for Rome, but then it kind of fell down. Definitely, no one's out of the woods yet in terms of this game. Long-term advantage definitely is for Greece right now, just because of the massive pile of wonders they have, and also their science. And yeah, let's see. Hopefully they will remember to turn the turn timer on. They did. All right, and we are off to the races with turn 87. 27 orders here, 3 minutes, so he does have a lot of time banked, so no worries there. Look through this event. We've got this sort of iron sharpens iron event. This guy is the head of religion who's ill, Zoroastrianism. So you potentially could get training on your hero. Their chancellor died, and then they can also upgrade the spy master. Get some family opinion, which might be helpful because the sages kind of hate them, or wisdom, which is also helpful for science. Interestingly, both players have one family that just hates their guts right now. He did take the extra training, which makes a lot of sense. Going for stirrups. Does Rome have phalanx? I think that might have been a free spearman. Let me check. They do have phalanx, so they can deal with horsemen, potentially with spears. Of course, spearmen do You can see what spearmen do again. Spearmen are anti-mounted 2, which means they plus 50% strength in melee combat versus mounted units, which means a 5 strength spearman is like a 7.5 strength unit when it's in melee combat with a mounted unit. So a 6 strength horseman is still much weaker than a 7.5 strength spearman. More development going on here. We got a theater in this city. Not entirely sure why. Maybe he wants the elder poet for civics income, although he doesn't have an elder poet. He doesn't have a poet in his an apprentice poet in his Odeon. Yeah, not entirely sure what the rationale here is. Nice Hamlet usage to sort of get that adjacency bonus. Camp coming here finally on Pella. Some wine that's not improved. Nine orders left here. So we'll see how this goes along and which way this game resolves. It doesn't look like he's in any mood to counterattack, which I think makes sense. He needs to recover from the injury that he took, although it didn't really take that much of an injury. I did lose some units, but yeah, my hope, at least as an observer in this game, is that IceMatrix will not just sit back and resume playing SimCity, but instead will go attack. Of course, that's a selfish observer perspective. He does have the late game in his favor. He knows that Kiriyama is similar and naive, so there's no need for him to go kill Kiriyama, assuming he has good vision, which he somewhat has vision here. I guess he finally did put an agent in this capital. He's getting a little bit of science, so you can see what's going on here, and can see that Rome is producing 20 science, and he knows that Pella is producing 34. And he's naive, so he's confident, unless there's another city with more science somewhere that he doesn't see, like this one potentially. I think all the other Roman cities actually don't produce more science. So yeah, so from a strategic perspective, there's no rush for Greece to go attack Rome. From a viewer perspective, we would like combat, but yeah, we can see this little hawk flying over the desert. Yeah, I think Kiriyama does have, despite being behind in science, is ahead on cities. So we might see an interesting stalemate potentially, where Kiriyama takes over a couple more. He really did get hurt by not really clearing effectively. Would have liked to see better, more focus clearing. I think I provided some of that feedback in part 1, which would have let him get up to, let's see, if he cleared this 1, 2, 3, potentially 4, 5, at least 3. I think be almost double Greece's cities. All right, let's pop over to Kiriyama, see what they do with their 27 orders. Lots of events here, sadly in Russian, so I won't be able to read. Why so many events, you ask? Because they finished the Ishtar Gate. They also got a massive flood here, but that is leveling up culture in a bunch of different cities, so lots of great positive events for them to take advantage of. And of course, culture score now much closer, just 4 points off, but no one's going to win on points in this game unless it goes very, very long. He's continuing to clear here. Can IceMatrix see this out of curiosity? No, he cannot, because the scout, yeah, the mountains kind of wall everyone off here. There's the only way in is here. So clearing this, does he have a settler ready for that? I think there's a settler hiding out here. No, that's a worker. I know there's a settler hiding out there. So there's one settler. Does he have any other settlers? That's all in Russian. I'm not sure. I think there's just that one. Don't see any more settlers being produced. Hey, Filthy, thanks for tuning in. This is part 2 of IceMatrix versus Kiriyama. The first part, we had a pretty quiet game. Both these players are in the lower bracket, so that means they lost their first match. IceMatrix sort of did a somewhat tall Greece play, starting with Artisans. Got a very fast legendary, relatively speaking, and sort of did their own thing. Kiriyama went for Rome, did some early fast expansion, then kind of stalled out because he tried to attack multiple camps with small units. He'd have 2 spearmen here, 2 spearmen here, 2 spearmen here, which didn't really work. It would have been better to concentrate his forces. But then finally decided to concentrate his forces down here and busted out and killed the Thracians, killed the Thracians. IceMatrix scouting has been pretty not great. He didn't even realize Kiriyama had settled this city until Kiriyama's units started flooding into here. There was a fight at the end of the part 1, and then Kiriyama is repelled. Both leaders actually have hero units, so hero leaders. So we'll see if we have any launch offensives. We haven't seen any launch offensives yet, if I recall correctly. So yeah, we might be, hopefully we'll have some exciting action here. Hopefully. We might also just see IceMatrix sit back, which is somewhat dangerous given that Kiriyama has a little more map control. And Kiriyama did just finish that Ishtar Gate, which of course gave him all those culture events to resolve, which it looks like he has resolved. Unfortunately, an observer, it does right now follow the language of the player, so that's why everything is in Russian. And of course, he just did have this big flood here, which didn't do too much damage. A couple things hurt, and both players on 3 laws, which is not where you want to be on turn 87. Yeah, so we'll see what's going on. Both players also have Macemen, pretty similar techs relatively speaking, and heroes. So and they're both similar to each other, although there is a pretty significant science advantage for IceMatrix. Rome actually did have the lead early on, thanks to their starting leader. Then their leader died. I think their leader was an intelligent, if I remember right, it was an intelligent, let me check here. This starting leader was an intelligent builder, I believe. Yes, intelligent builder. So that helped quite a bit. And then Greece's starting leader was a intelligent judge. So because Rome expanded more cities faster, Greece was very slow in expansion. That let them get more benefit out of intelligent. All right, 10 seconds left on the Roman turn here. Starting a Maceman here. Economy-wise, we can see how both players are. Both players are not doing great economy-wise. I would love to see them balance this, and of course this money deficit is not great. We can see here IceMatrix is mostly positive, but is losing quite a lot of money. Potentially that can be fixed by adopting tyranny, which he does have available, but of course he does not have civics for it right now because he rushed out some stuff. There are no pyramids available, so laws are not cheaper. But tyranny would be very helpful at this point in the game because it would instantly solve some of his money problems. And he's ahead in science, so doesn't necessarily need constitution. But of course, constitution would also help with science. I think we see at least 20 science-ish or so, however many specialists, urban specialists he has. Yeah, so he's kind of sitting back here, not really liking the lack of scouting. I would love to see a scout move over and like go sit in this forest and see what's going on. I think both these players haven't played very many, or this might be their first multiplayer match, or second multiplayer match, because I guess they played in their first one and lost to beat down here in the loser bracket, or the lower bracket, sorry. So yeah, I mean, I think some of this is just inexperience in terms of scouting. Yeah, and Kiriyama is similarly somewhat blind. I would love to see a scout come up and be over here so he can see what's going on. There's the little patch of forest. He knows that forest was there because he very boldly went directly into the champion seat last session without even scouting ahead, which was very bold. Fortunately for him, all of Greek's units were up in the north, so he actually had a couple turns where he could, there was a very panicked Greece. And it looks like we're starting a necropolis for Greece. That necropolis does give 3 civics per city with a pagan religion. You can take a look here. There's a kind of a cool view. If you click on Greek paganism, you can see every city that has Greek paganism. So we see most cities except for this one that's freshly settled. Doesn't look like he doesn't look like he started a shrine there. He is running polytheism. No, he's not running polytheism. So interesting. Would expect him to pick up polytheism at some point. So that he can get benefit out of that. But it does give him 3 civics in each of these 3 cities because he has spread out his shrines. No state religion, despite founding Zoroastrianism pretty early, and Rome founded Judaism pretty late on turn 77. I guess Zoroastrianism was also not pretty early on turn 54. But neither player has adopted a state religion, or actually Rome did adopt Judaism as a state religion. But neither player, I think, has monasticism yet for that sweet order per state religion city. You can toggle back over to Rome, double check that they do not have monasticism. They do have land consolidation. They don't have monasticism yet. They're currently getting the Freemason card. And I don't think they've gotten any theologies on Judaism. And Judaism is, I think, only in 1 city right now because it was founded so late. It's just in this city here. All right, about a minute left here. 1 order left as well for IceMatrix. Both players reacquainting themselves. It's been a couple days since they played. It was a pretty epic 5-hour session for the first one. So trying to remember what's going on. What did I do last time? What is my plan? Looks like he's assigning a commander here with his last order. Let's toggle back over to Rome and see what Rome does here. He's setting up this city. All these cities are now developing thanks to that Ishtar Gate, which means he will be able to rush. Where is our ballista? Our ballista is slowly moving over here. No road network here yet. We can take a look at the road network by pressing the N key, or the trade network key by the B key. So these cities are not yet connected, but there is some river here. So we'd love to see some roading from Kiriyama to connect this and make it a lot easier to get that ballista and any other units much easier. Roads basically pay for themselves after 2 units walk over them. So it's very much worth roading, especially the path towards your opponent, because you know you're going to be going there. Some repairs needed after that flood. Still dealing with some raiders here and some rebels. He looks like he's fixed his rebel problem. I think that was an influence mission. Maybe, although my Russian is, yes, I think this +40 means influence mission. So he's managed to fix his opinion with the landowners, which is good. So he won't deal with any more rebels. We are on modest, and Greece has gotten the sages over -100, so he won't have rebels either. Although -95 is pretty close to dipping under the next time discontent ticks up somewhere. So yeah, both players kind of content to sit back here. Looks like Kiriyama has decided to clear with his horse archer, a Maceman, and a chariot. Could get a route here. Indeed, he does. We'll see if he can't get another route, but maybe he'll do this. I think one thing that some players don't realize is if you clear, and I've seen many players do this in the tournament, if you clear the units around a camp, that just speeds up the camp spawning another unit. So generally, if you can safely, you'd like to clear the camp first and then clean up the units, because otherwise you're just causing more units to spawn. So when he kills this unit, we'll see another unit potentially be ready to spawn here. So there's 2 turns there until a unit spawns, and it was 3, I believe, before he killed that. So it'll tick down to 1 next turn, and then I think when he kills it, it'll spawn a unit. We'll see. Or it might next turn. I'm not entirely sure of the mechanics, but that's not a well understood interaction. We should probably do an informative video on that, or the game should do a better job of telling people about it. You really want to kill camps first if you can. Of course, if you can't and can only pick off those units, that's okay. Sometimes it's just too much damage. We do have a settler here. The settler came from up here. It is probably going down here to settle, though awkwardly there is this Thracian protecting the pass and the silver. We've got a hamlet coming down there. Finished repairing there. He does have this raid here. He was notified that the raid from Scythians is coming, but he doesn't have any military units here ready to defend. He does have a spear, I guess he can pull up to the north, which I'd like to see there, or maybe next turn once he actually gets vision of where that raid is coming from. Otherwise, he seems to be sending most of his troops west, although not moving that many. Lots of axes. This ballista has not moved as well. He's kind of, I feel like, from what he said post-game, he mentioned he felt like he was going to need to expand and protect the center and take the center. So I guess he's following through with that plan. He's going to settle, get up in cities, and then try to use that to claw back to science parity and then potentially a science advantage, and maybe even get more military. So we can take a look at the military score graph. You see both players are spiking. So both players are rebuilding after the attack and also trying to upgrade and catch up with each other. So it seems like we're now in the full-on military build-up phase. I think one of the challenges in attacking, and some potentially advice for Kiriyama, is he kind of walked in. He didn't wait for his mace upgrade. He just walked in. It would have been good to build up a stronger force and then punch harder a little bit later. Potentially could have done much more damage, and definitely caught his opponent unawares. All right, let's see what IceMatrix does. We've got some events here. Promising student. He could get a scribe, a poet, or a citizen at 86. This city's strong, so probably don't really need the poet. It would, looks like he took a poet, so a master poet. So that does give him a little bit of civics income in that city. And religion, he has an option for ambitions. He could control 8 towns, or capture 5 foreign cities, or just take the XP. He does have all 3 strengths on his leader, and it looks like he took controlling 8 towns, which I think he's got some hamlets up. So maybe these hamlets will convert. And it's kind of an awkward ambition because there's very little you can do to speed it up apart from building the lighthouse, which is in the game, but would require a coastal city. The lighthouse, of course, does speed up. does speed up upgrade time for hamlet improvements. It will only do so on the next upgrade or for freshly built hamlets. So like this hamlet will not, it won't cut off this hamlet. So if you built the lighthouse somehow instantly, you would still have 16 years to develop into a town from that village. But if we find a hamlet, then it would have, this hamlet would have 20 years still, but then when those 20 years tick down, it would have 10 years to go from village to town, assuming he built the lighthouse before it ticked up. And he's building more hamlets here. So the challenge with that ambition is it takes at least 40, like it takes at least, so this hamlet will, well, he doesn't have a lighthouse, so this hamlet will take 40 years to develop. So that's a pretty long ambition to do. But he does have money problems, so building hamlets makes sense. He's finished a bunch of improvements. Ambition victory is off, so no point going for ambition. He does have a swift hero, a swift, eloquent, intelligent, which is an interesting combo. Not entirely sure how the hero got that. Yeah. And not too many units here. He does have that necropolis on its way. Continuing to really wonder spam, might be going, like, points victory seems somewhat out of reach just because there's so many points. And Ishtar Gate, which is one of the keys for a point victory usually, is grabbed. So like there's only 4 wonders left. Lighthouse, Colossus, both of those require water. Kothon, also a water wonder, and then Circus Maximus, which he could build in his legendary city, but has chosen not to. So yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 8 points on wonders. So 10 with the one that he's building. So I put him at 43. He does have a religion. He's not built to the religious wonder. So that's 45. You'd still need 15 points from somewhere. He only has 7 cities, so yeah, not happening with points victory. So I think this is going to have to go to blows. All right, popping back over to Rome. Let's see what's going on. He has cleared this site, and looks like he did kill that unit. But there's now this unit just has 1 turn to spawn. It looks like it doesn't instantly spawn. It can't go below 1. So that there will be another unit spawning, I believe, at the end of this turn. And he is bringing that settler down and protecting it with this axeman, or sorry, this slinger. So, and then he does see this raid coming down and is reacting with that spearman going north, as we hoped he would. He's starting a hamlet himself, trying to fix some of this cash problem. Economy not in the best of shape. IceMatrix was a lot more greedy with early improvements, despite the superior expansion of Rome. But yeah, getting some more military building, getting some more macemen out. Another axeman being built here. He is kind of broke at this point, so can't really afford the macemen, I guess. Yeah, macemen, where's macemen? Macemen would be 500 gold that he does not have just because it's 150 iron. So can support a maceman every other turn, plus 76. Getting some apprentice officers up here very slowly in this city. The civic income of the city is 9. So I think that's just an apprentice officer. Maybe it's a master. Sure, check here. Yeah, it's just an apprentice officer. Yeah, so pretty interesting game so far, but yeah. I'm going to clear this, settle this. That will be his 11th city. He does have peace with the Numidians, which at least stops the raids from the Numidians. And has to deal with the Scythians. So maybe he'll go kill the Scythians and then settle more. Don't see any more settlers started. He's joining council, presumably for cash. Yeah, so we'll set it. We can settle in here for a little bit of getting some groves up, since he does have land consolidation. Getting a free onager, so this could be interesting. Once that free onager, he has not moved that ballista and has still not built a road network here. But that free onager could potentially help pressure any attack. It'll be, especially because if it's well defended, this is a pretty choke pointy area. It's going to be hard for Greece to deal with an onager, even just one. Of course, he can't build any more than one because he doesn't have machinery. And unfortunately for him, I think Greece is pretty close to machinery. They do have sovereignty, so they're 1 tech away from machinery. So potentially could have some Greek onagers soon. And that ends Rome's turn. Toggle back over to Greece. All right. Curious, he just finished researching stirrups. We'll see what he does law-wise. There's a martial code unlocked, which is a very powerful one tech because it gives you Holy War as a law, which lets you rush with money. We haven't seen martial code yet in the tournament. As far as I'm aware, you can also get an 8th strength unit on pikemen, which is anti-mounted, which you could nicely upgrade all his macemen to. No one has an 8th strength unit yet, so that might be an interesting choice. And he does have quite a lot of infantry units, 8, so you could upgrade all those into pikemen. Could also get manor, jurisprudence, which is an incredibly powerful law because it gives you guilds, and guilds lets you build elder specialists directly, so you don't have to do apprentice and master. It just lets you build elder right away. That is, of course, a bit of a greedy play, but I mean, we are here on turn 90. We have parity with our opponent. When you're ahead, get more ahead, or just go kill him. Also an option. He's getting manor, so that's a interesting play. Gets him volunteers. He does have a bunch of cities with a lot of citizens, so he could rush out a lot of units, get a quick power spike that way as a law choice. And also gets some conscripts, which is an upgraded militia. Does get free longbowman as a card off that, and does go towards windlass, although windlass is a long way here because he doesn't have machinery hydraulics. So 3 is off that manor though, and the free longbow could be helpful in any conflict because they will be 8th strength units, and no one has any 8th strength units yet. All right. So 17 orders here. Acropolis is on the way. Eventually we're going to run out of wonders to build. Already has just the Circus Maximus left, and the others are water wonders, so if he wants those, he will need to get a coastline. No signs of that at the moment. He is starting a settler, so presumably he does want to settle somewhere. Not entirely sure where. Maybe this Vandal site? Gonna go north? I'd like to see can go. These units are pretty tough though. They're already at 5 strength. And this guy's at 6 strength actually. So these are pretty highly upgraded units. 5 strength chariot will not have a good time. Hey Nyland, thanks for joining and thanks for tuning in. We just started about a half hour ago. It started at 7:30 Pacific, so we didn't miss much. To catch you up, part 1 we had both players somewhat peacefully expanding. Rome expanding more quickly. Not great scouting from either player. Rome was actually able to settle this city without Greece being aware. And then Rome kind of marched in. Greece pulled forces from the other side of his empire and managed to hold off Rome. And now we're kind of at this quasi standoff with both players kind of staring at each other and building up militarily. See the military score graph, both players desperately shooting up. The issue for Rome is Greece has a very significant science lead at this point. The issue for Greece is Rome has a somewhat significant city lead, 10 cities to 7, and is actually getting 11th city here in the middle of the map as well. But no aggressive movements from either player. Their first session was around 5 hours, so I think they're just several days ago, so they're getting back into it here to understand what they were doing and what their plan is, and figure out how to proceed from here. Definitely the pressure is on Rome. That attack was not successful. They see that they are behind in science, which is never where you want to be. But I mean, if Greece lets Rome just settle all over the map, then yeah, I mean, eventually Rome can potentially bear overwhelming force. So Greece can't wait forever either. At some point, Rome will inevitably catch up in tech, and we'll have more cities. So like if you just wait forever, your opponent will eventually catch up in tech because the tech tree is limited, and point victory does not look like a viable path. also very hard to win point victory on 7 cities. And Rome took one of the most important wonders, Ishtar Gate, 4-point victory, which has given them developing in all their cities, which means they can rush in all their cities, especially these very important frontline cities. So if there is a conflict here, Rome can very quickly reinforce. Again, I'm saying this again, I would really, really love to see some roading from Rome, just to connect this and make it much easier to get units back to the front. He's done a good job with some roading this way, but he kind of stopped here and didn't continue building that roading. In fact, this ballista kind of just stopped here as well. That's a free ballista card. He's getting a free onager card, which potentially he could use for some sort of slow push, although it's somewhat far away from the onager law itself. Hasn't even gotten sovereignty or its free civics boost. Would love to see that as well. And both players are still on 3 laws, which is a little late for 4 laws at turn 90. So we might actually see 8-unit strength card coming off a bonus card if we see that bonus longbow from the manor. And here Rome did found this city here, and indeed, as predicted, this unit did spawn because there was just 1 turn for another unit to spawn. So had he cleared this camp, he wouldn't have to deal with this rather gnarly 6-strength unit. Fortunately, it's not on a hill because Thracians get a boost on hills, if I remember correctly. Although this looks, yeah, this is the powerful Thracian unit, the Peltast. And Rome, of course, can't, or Greece cannot see this border. No, they can see the border. This is interesting. Greece can now see, if they notice, they can see a tiny bit of Roman border that is just visible out of the fog over the mountains. And this is a Peltast. Peltasts, of course, have this Highlander bonus. They get plus 25% strength off hills and are absolutely terrifying on hills. Fortunately for him, it didn't spawn on a hill. So yes, Greece, if they're paying attention, will have noticed that there is now a Roman border here, which tells him there's a city here, and we'll see what they do. We might see some conflict here, which can be very interesting. And similarly there for Rome, I would love to see, again, roads are so important. This is really atrocious terrain. It's very hilly, but a road could make this much smoother to move across. Doesn't appear that he's building any roads. He's kind of broke at the moment, so I understand why, although he's building a lot of improvements. No quarries really being built either, as far as I can tell. Lots of buildings, which he really isn't in a situation to afford, although some of these, I guess, are theaters, hamlets. Hamlets will help with the goals problem. Another hamlet. Here's a quarry on some marble. This triple marble site is insane. He does have both triple marble sites, although I guess the Greek city did grab one of the marbles with a border boost. So yeah, eco build up here. It's going to be interesting to see which way this game resolves. Greece does have an advantage tech-wise right now, but Rome does have the expansion advantage, 11 cities to 7, and isn't horrendously behind in tech. They were pretty close here. In fact, Rome had a lead. So I think if we look at the area under the curve, they're about equal here on turn 77. So only really this part, although it's a pretty significant part. So let's toggle back over, see what Greece does on turn 91. All right, turn 91 dawns in Greece. We got the event Immoral Gods. Could become uncouth and get the free law philosophy, which is an interesting law. I think you'd probably rather want engineering. I don't think he has engineering. He doesn't have the civics. However, it would be a free law. He doesn't have the civics for enacting any of these laws. So, hey, that would be his 4th law. It would hurt his culture income. So curious to see whether he takes that, actually, because that would give him 4 laws, which would allow him to finally build his unique unit. Would really like to see him. Did he get bonus civics? Is bonus civics still in the draw pile? Civics boost is there. So maybe he's taking manor. It's the fastest one that lets him cycle towards civics boost, which would enable him to enact up to 6 laws, and actually 7 with manor. So 7 laws would let him build his 8 strength unit, and no one has an 8 strength unit yet. So Greece is definitely advantaged in the law situation. Rome has enacted all their possible laws, where Greece has 3 laws they have not enacted because they have been civic starved. They did have some civics, but they did use a lot of civics rushing when Rome attacked. And the economy of Greece is in better shape here than Rome. If we compare money-wise, Rome has stabilized their money situation. It's actually gaining 9 turns, so advantage Rome there. Food-wise, Rome only has 24 versus 45 for Greece. 74 iron for Rome, slight advantage there. only 30 stone versus 90, and only 18 wood versus 100 wood. Take a look at military score graph, still neck and neck there. Order graph was there was an advantage, but I think some of this, really would love this to be without taking improvement construction, because Greece is building 15 improvements right now. So that is what has tanked that. I really love this. I would love this order graph to be pre-improvement construction, so you can see net order income. Science, pretty big difference. Then there you can see food, iron, stone, and wood. Jimmy's graph, also interesting. Pretty neck and neck, slight advantage to Greece. So yeah, Greece is content to sit back here, it looks like. Does not appear that he has noticed this. Haven't seen any moves there. His scout is, let's see, where is his scout unit? His scout is over here. He did move up here, so I think he's going to be trying to take this site. It looks like he is attacking some of these raiders, and he's upgrading to horsemen, so I presume he's going to go take this site. That settler is there, so it looks like he's going to expand there and take his 8th city, and also shut down the Vandal raids, and potentially go take the 9th city at some point later. Looks like he's going in. So this is something both players kind of do, which is not a great idea. Moving in with just a couple units against these tribes that are now 6 strength. This is actually a 5 strength spearman. You're about to kill this unit, but they're going to take a lot of damage. Right? This guy can take 5 damage. This guy can deal a lot of damage as well. So that's going to be painful, and don't see any more forces. Like 2 versus 4 is probably not enough. Be a little different if they were attacking the horse units, just because of the bonus of spears. But directly into club throwers is painful. All right, Rome's turn. Let's toggle back over here. Let's see what Rome does with their 27 orders. They did just research that free onager, which we can see over here. Curious to see what they pick tech-wise. They've got the choice of monasticism, stirrups for horsemen, menor, or infantry square, which will give them pikemen, which would be an 8 strength unit. I haven't seen many horses from anyone, so I'm sure they would pick that one. Yeah, I personally probably would. Let's see, they do have Judaism. It hasn't spread very far because they founded it very, very late. It is their state religion, though. So potentially they could build a disciple here, which would love to see that, and get monasticism up. Potentially that's one way to claw your way back into the game. Spread that religion, build some monasteries, get some theologies. You do have civics in the bank. Alternatively, you could go for manor to get that law. Yeah. See what else in the tech tree. Really hurts that you don't have anything for sovereignty. Like, I think at this point he does take monasticism, which I think is the right call. I think you want to cycle down here, get this sweet civics boost, and get yourself to sovereignty, because with monasticism that'll be 4th law, then rhetoric 5th law, sovereignty 6th law, also the civics boost, which gets you a bunch of extra stuff. And then you can pick up citizenship for your 7th law, or architecture. So if you want to do some baths, it looks like there's lots of terrain that he can put baths on. Baths, of course, do unlock doctors, which are one of the best science specialists in the game because they scale by culture level. Right, I am trying to use the encyclopedia in Russian, which is not going to be very helpful. So doctors, elder doctor gives you 4 science per year, as every elder specialist does. Also 4 growth per year, and then 2 science per year per culture level. So a legendary doctor gives you 12 science, which is insane. And Rome is not that far off legendary. We're 9 years off. Looks like they are building some theaters, some hamlets, trying to fix their cash problem here. For some reason I thought they had fixed it. I guess I was looking at the wrong chart. Yeah, their economy is not in great shape. If we look at the improvement count, looks like there's a pretty significant lead here for Greece. Yes, 150 to 99 improvements. So just that early econ investment from Greece has paid off. They've also produced about the same number of workers, interestingly. More rural specialists from Rome, but more urban specialists from Greece. Yeah, just better investment in terms of getting those improvements up, which really helps fuel that economy. Old World's a strange game in that way, that those early turns and those early improvements do come back and make a big difference. Of course, Kiriyama does have more land in Rome, so can definitely take advantage of all that land and improve, and is dealing with this raid here, unfortunately with just 1 spear, which is going to be a little awkward considering these are 5 and 6 strengths raiders. The spear will do fine, but it's just going to be annoying because they might pillage some stuff. And another unit here would clean this up. The spear, I guess, is guarding against the raid from here. But this is sort of like what I was talking about in terms of just you probably want to have more focused force. Had he cleared this and cleared this earlier, he wouldn't have to deal with raids at all, and definitely had plenty of time to do so. All right, we've got this ballista heading over here. Still hasn't moved. Still no road network. Would love to see that. 5 orders left. Of course, we are playing on tight, so players can continue to do eco moves on their opponent's turn. And we're over to turn 92 for Greece. And about 50 minutes into this game here. Into part 2 of this game. Necropolis on the way. Curious to see if we will see Greece go for all the wonders that are left. Might be something on their mind if they're planning to settle the city. That settler is available now, soon, shortly. He is trying to clear this, so expecting him to clear this Vandal site. His raider is helpfully coming to make it a little easier to clear it without having to deal with so many club throwers. As predicted, though, this is not looking good, right? He's going to clear this, and then these spearmen are going to be in serious danger of dying. He's going to have to pull back because, yeah, any 2 hits on any spearman is going to kill it. So just not enough force at this point in the game to clear that site. He does have more units up here that he could pull up with maybe Force March. Probably not the best use of Force March. So very important to like figure out how much military strength you need to clear and then use it. Overwhelming force is always better. You take less damage. Obviously you don't need 10 units, but something like 3 or 4 is a lot better than 2, especially this late in the game. Generally a good rule of thumb is you want to have more strength than is at the camp. So if the camp has 3 4-strength units, you probably want to have 3 4-strength units or more yourself. And right now, this camp has 3 6-strength units and a 5-strength unit. That's 23 strength. So you'd want to bring maybe 3 8-strength units or something like that. If you don't have them, then like 4 6-strength units would also do the trick. But he only brought 2 5-strength units, and also from a family that is not very happy with him. So they do take that minus 5% for being upset. He is mental strain, indulging in revelry. It looks like they got stressed and is also severely ill. We'll see whether they get a pretty quick doom. He only has been ruling for 11 years. That would be pretty painful. This is his 5th ruler, so he's gone through quite a few. There was a regency in there. So, yeah, his first ruler lived only 30 years. Then we had another ruler that lived 16. Unfortunately, died very young. And then we had a regency for 8 years, and then 6 years, sorry. And then King Alexander lived for almost 30 years. On the Rome side, leader-wise, we've seen just 3 rulers. This ruler lived for ruled for 40 years, then another for 38, and this one just started and is about 12, 15 years in, but is already age 59, I think. Easier to look at the tooltip this way. Yes, 59. Okay, let's, so Greece is out of orders here. Curious to see if we'll see an end turn here soon, so they can send it, and they did pull back these to heal. And of course, since they killed that, that unit will respawn one faster. Camps do pause after they get the max number of units until they can fire off a raid. Let me see if I can find a paused camp. Here's one that's paused because we've got 5 units chilling at this camp. He does have peace. He doesn't have peace with the Numidians, so they might raid him. And Rome does have peace with the Numidians, so the Numidians will definitely go raid Greece instead of Rome. And this camp, I think, is also not quite paused. So you might see this camp choosing to raid the Greeks soon. And all right, no notice by Greece that Rome has taken the middle city site. No contesting there. Still no roads, although I guess hamlets are kind of like roads, so that will at least help. But yeah, would love to see some roading. Upgrading groves. Rome is slowly fixing their science gap. One of these is science. Which one? This one. Just yes, okay. Hakya. Whatever, however you pronounce that. Okay, so Rome is slowly fixing, but Greece is zooming ahead. And Greece, of course, did get the museum and a bunch of other additional wonders as well. Rome only has that Ishtar Gate. And these raiders are pillaging awkwardly, which will be annoying to deal with. So yeah, one spear isn't enough. Yeah, I mean, I think if I'm Kiriyama right now, what would I do? Probably want to move your hero back into the city, and then get some strong forces, maybe 4 units or so, and just clear this camp, settle it, 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 and then maybe march into Greece from this angle or something, where they don't expect you. Don't come back into this champion city. Maybe wall up this city, build some forts, make this very hard to break into. Right, you can hold this defensive line and then go strike where he's not paying attention. If you didn't, like, I think the biggest thing is just both players need to scout more. Neither player really has any vision of what the other player is doing. The only reason Greece has this agent in this city over here is because they built the Oracle, and that gave them a free agent in the Holy City for Roman paganism. That agent isn't really telling them that much. Right, 12 orders left. Let's see what Rome will continue to do. So he's continuing to clear these raiders. Got some kills there. Aggressively moving forward into this camp. A little scary here, but this is a 6 strength unit. This is a 5 strength unit. He's got these are also 6 strength units, but he's wisely staying in the forest here. But these are melee units, so that might be very painful here shortly. It looks like he'd break his peace with the Numidians. I was pretty sure he had peace with the Numidians, but he's broken that. So he did have peace, but doesn't anymore. This is just out of range. Greece can't see this unit. But this is a little vulnerable here because he has no idea that there's a Greek city right there. If you look at his view, he does not know there's a city. He does see this border here, so in theory he would know there's a city if he noticed that border. This feels a little risky here because you don't know whether your opponent sees you. And of course he can pull down these spears and potentially deal some damage. Can't really select them, sadly. So let's see. Can I select this? Yeah, can't. Neither player has vision of the other there. Greece continuing to build master poets. Not really sure why at this point in the game. Not like this is something we've seen many players do, where they'll put an Odeon in every city and then start building poets. And this is decent as a civics pump, I guess, if you're just building poets. But maybe, I guess, not terrible, but you are getting manners. So that means you're going to get volunteers, which you could rush with volunteers, turn citizens into units, use that to go crush your opponent. Master Poet at turn 92 in your 8th city or something or your 5th city is a pretty long payoff for that to be worth. And we see that here as well. This city is almost legendary, 3 years away from legendary. It's building a Master Poet. I guess you're turning this somewhat into a civics pump, but then like it's also got an officer. The units are kind of all over the place. All right, Greece does have that civics boost, which will help them enact a bunch of laws. They do have 7 laws, so fully expecting them to get civics boost. They have marked machinery and hydraulics as their target tech, but really, you really want to get civics boost. 800 civics would be doubling his civics and let him enact 3 laws, which he needs 4 laws to get to 7 laws. So yeah, would really love to see civics here. Indeed, he's taking it, and then I'm fully expecting him to pick up probably tyranny, maybe vassalage. Vassalage would help the economy quite a bit. Engineering would have been great to pick up earlier since he built so many wonders, and volunteers I think would be the choice here. Yeah, maybe philosophy at this point, since like you've almost built all those wonders. There's not much point getting engineering this late. We will see though. He's got the calendar and seasons event, so he can. I forget what this chains to, but it's a pretty good chain, I think. But yeah, I need to really learn the events better and or build an event viewer so you don't have to use the in-game one, which is hard to do when you're in a game. Okay, he does have pretty good vision. He finally moved the scout. I think that's also something worth noting. He did build the scout, and finally he's putting up walls here in the champion site, and he has vision here. So Greece has eyes on his opponent and can see if he's going to reinforce here, which presumably would lead to an attack. So really like this play here from IceMatrix. We finally got a scout in vision. We can also take a look at another issue over here. Rome doesn't have any scouts. Rome lost their scouts. I think they had 1 scout. It died somewhere, and then he never rebuilt a scout, which is very dangerous. You'd definitely love to build a scout. He is getting this disciple here and getting monasticism. Good idea here. Pre-building that disciple. And this is continuing to deal with the raids. So let me toggle back over to Greece, we have 17 more orders. So we move that scout in play, getting more macemen. Let's take a look at the military score here. Still neck and neck, both players spiking up very quickly. He's getting that civics boost, so expecting 7 laws. Would really like, he did enact a law, good. No, yes, he got vassalage, which helps his economy a little bit. Would have potentially liked to see tyranny, honestly, at this point. You're doing military buildup, and it will solve your money problems instantly. Vassalage is okay as well, but yeah, I think tyranny would have been the better bet. You could also just say, screw you, I'm going all in on science, and also get decrees in my capital. Constitution is somewhat defensible, although I think with only 43 civics production, you're going to really struggle to get those decrees out in time. Haven't seen any Olympiads anywhere. Olympiads are an interesting thing Greece can do. They can sort of run Olympiads when the city is cheap, because it is actually 1 base training per Olympiad, and then extra training per. So you actually want to run your Olympiads when the cities are undeveloped, so you can build up that base training much more cheaply, because it scales with civics cost. And base training is always super valuable. It is kind of a niche use case for Greece, though. All right, we are back over to Rome, and IceMatrix is now on 4 laws, which is, Rome can see that, of course. He's dealing with some rebels, looks like. Ooh, something happened here. Let's see, both these families really hate his guts. Roman paganism, for some reason, looks like a Numidian leader, and she's pissed off because he's at war with the Numidians. Not sure how that came about, but he has 2 families that are Numidian, and that is not helping right now. So he's dealing with some rebels. Opinion management is so important. Religion is a great way to do opinion management. Let me toggle over to Greece so I can actually see the tooltips in English a little easier. Greece doesn't have a state religion yet. That's another thing you can use civics on. But I think one thing you can do is you can actually influence the religious head, and if you get them over 100, then that religious head can actually do conversion missions on the family to help you convert a family. The way religion for a family works is, let me go into a family in Greece. So let's say, why is this family Zoroastrianism? So we see this family has their leader as Zoroastrian, and then a bunch of other folks that are Zoroastrian. The way to think about it is it's plus 200 points for the leader, and then plus 100 points for every other unit, every other character with a religion. And then the other thing is governors, generals, and agents count for an extra 20, and then council members count for an extra 40. So you can do the math, and then there's a plus 50 bonus for the existing religion of a particular family, and it flips when it goes over, and they can't convert more than 4 times a year. What that means, every 4 years. And what that means in practice is you always want to convert the family head, and then go probably from youngest up, because that way, in case they die, you don't waste the conversion effort, and get anyone with it as a governor or a council member especially, and then do that. So here, for example, this city is very firmly pagan. If he wanted to convert, he would start with the family head and then work their way up, starting with his council member. There's 2 council members here. Actually, yeah, and then there, and then eventually this family would flip. You just do the math: 200, 100, 100, etc. And so too. So obviously that's a little bit more technical. That's outlined in the spreadsheet. There's a religious conversion mechanics tab. Not particularly well explained in the game, sadly. Wish there was like a little bar that told you this auditor has slightly moved. No real motion from Rome, apart from dealing with these rebels. And it looks like he's continuing to fight this city site over here. And the Numidians are kind of moving in. It doesn't look like a tribal invasion. They're just kind of moving in, and he's slowly cleaning this up. But look at this. We've gotten so much and doesn't have a worker anywhere nearby to repair. Probably we'll see one maybe move up. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with the city. Looks like he was counseling. Would love to see him build a worker here, just to have something to repair stuff, so he doesn't have to pull units from all over. Take a look at what else he's building here. Just toggling over. Not sure on this amphitheater. You don't really need cities past strong unless you're going for a powerful legendary wonder. There aren't really any powerful legendary wonders. Circus Maximus is a solid wonder, but neither player seems to be really investing in mounted units to take advantage of that. It's also incredibly expensive. Civics boost for Greece will probably get him up to 7 laws, or at least 6. And yeah, 6 years on Acropolis in Greece. The only wonders left are water wonders and the Circus Maximus. And 15 seconds left for Rome here. I think he is out of orders, yep, so not sure. In any case, let's see what Greece does in reply. He saw the rebel. He knows that there are some unhappy Roman families. His own families have fortunately... no, the sages still hate his guts. Why do the sages hate his guts? Well, they are pagan, and Greek paganism is minus 48, so there's minus 48. There are no counselors from sages, because for some reason all his counselors are artisans. That's another way to balance. He doesn't have any salt or lavender that he can give to them. Their head is plus 20, so only plus 20 from being a governor. So what could he do to fix this? Well, he could do an influence on the head of Greek paganism. That would give him plus 40. He could do an influence on the head of the family. That would give him another plus 40. He doesn't have a state religion. So, all right, let's see what he does law-wise. Will we see that tyranny? Presumably, he's getting jurisprudence. Ooh, that is somewhat not greedy play, but like it's a good play this late in the game. It'd be greedy if it were like much earlier, but getting guilds will let him build elder poets everywhere, build elder units directly without going through the in between, no apprentice and no master. I think that like if you knew you were going for jurisprudence, I don't know that I would start these master poets because you could just go directly to elder poet shortly. It will also give him another law, but he has 7 unlocked already. He does have 4 laws. Has he started a stronghold anywhere? He will need the stronghold in order to build a citadel, and stronghold is gated behind 4 laws. There is a stronghold started in his sage's seat. I don't see one anywhere else. And I guess he's going very military heavy. He does see this damage, or could see this damaged Libyan. I think one way that's worth seeing, or worth, if you use this notification and click, you can see where a unit was seen, which is very helpful. So he sees that an axeman rolled up here, and then he sees that the Warriors of God, which I presumed is a renamed unit, and you can see that as well. So that can be helpful to sort of oh wow, that means there was a Roman unit there. So this unit seen notification is particularly helpful in network. Even if you aren't paying attention to the map where that unit was moved, you can click this and see what was moved. So always check that every turn. And indeed, his ruler became doomed, and now he is an eloquent, proud, impious, Neoplatonist scholar that has taken the throne. So this is his 6th leader, which is a little bit unlucky. To have 6 leaders in 94 years. But he is marrying into the family, which will also help. So that's a good play, and is immediately influencing. No, he's marrying and then potentially will influence as well. Would like to see him adopt state religion, Zoroastrianism, and convert everyone to Zoroastrianism. That will also help, although not immediately with these families. Yeah, usually you can adopt a state religion. State religion will give you plus 20, I think. This guy is plus 40 because they follow Zoroasters are plus 20, and he did take tyranny, which instantly fixed his money problem and also really helped out with his training. We've got 41 training in the Champions Cap. Two orders left. So Greece no longer has a hero. Rome still has a hero, but is severely ill. So we'll see if that hero survives as well. His heir is a warlike, blinded builder, who's also inspiring. Yeah, so that might be interesting. 54 though, so I guess the Roman leader has not had many children. Yes, has not had any children, so I guess that's a brother. All right. Let's see what happens in Rome's turn. Toggle back over. He did just research a tech, monasticism, from memory, so that puts him at choice of monotheism or polytheism. Either one could work. You could go poly, get shrines up everywhere, then swap to monasticism after spreading a religion. It's generally the better play, I think, and then you get divine rule for more orders. can help with the order economy. He's getting admin, which I think is a solid play. Could get towards sovereignty and get that sweet civics boost, although he does have a lot of civics in the bank, so should be able to enact this law right away. And still dealing with this raid, still hasn't moved anything. And then this looks like a tribal invasion. Generally, units don't move like that. I haven't been able to really follow along with the orders there. Yes, they are an organized tribal unit because this is a tribal invasion. This is not a good situation for Rome right now. He needs to deal with this. He is clearing this site. Can Greece see that? Greece can see this chariot. So there's a visible chariot here, and very awkwardly for Rome, there is a tribal invasion happening right here. He does have this spearman, which will help considerably with this tribal invasion, but even this lone spearman is going to get a little, well, as long as it stays on urban, but like we've got a lot of units coming in here. Like this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 raiders. Like this is kind of the consequence of not clearing those tribes early or not securing peace with them. Militia against a axe rebel also has both families potentially causing rebels right now. This is kind of a painful spot for Rome right now. We'll see whether Greece takes advantage of it. Greece still has, where did the Greek scout go? I think Greek scout is just chilling in this forest here watching Rome. Would love to see, or no, the Greek scout moved somewhere. Where did the Greek scout move? Greek scout is here. Did he lose the scout? I am very confused. Wasn't there a Greek scout here? Yes, there was, but I have no idea where it went. Greece did have 2 scouts. When did Greece lose their scout? Did they lose them to Vandals somewhere, maybe? I don't know. I thought there was a scout up there. Maybe they got annihilated by the Vandals. I'm sorry I missed that. So, yeah, this is a tribal invasion into Rome. The Spearmen will mostly handle this. It's very highly upgraded. It does have Horsebane, which helps a lot, and Steadfast. So this is a super Spearman. It'll do a lot of damage. But even that super Spearman, as we're seeing with this Spearman, is just a lot to deal with and needs to pull something up to repair. None of this should have been pillaged. Yeah, and he's dealing with rebels. It's awkward right now. Ballista hasn't moved along. Don't have any roads. Slowly fixing his economy, although he's in deep trouble here cash-wise. He's selling looks like iron in order to get cash. When you are in this kind of negative, it's always helpful to sell it yourself so that you choose what gets sold. Otherwise, the game may choose to sell something you are trying to save up. The game, of course, doesn't know what you're saving up for. So it can be helpful to make sure. So yeah, pretty awkward situation here for Rome. Family opinion is really not helping. Would love to see an influence on the head of Judaism and conversion to Judaism yourself. Is he doomed? I'm not sure. Let me check. He is indeed doomed. So he does. His heir is going to be so both players changing rulers here. So his heir is going to be, unless he designates someone else, which it doesn't look like he has. He does have the civics for it. His heir is going to be this old builder at 54. Personally, I would rather have picked someone young, ideally someone I can tutor, although Confucius is serving as a governor right now. Because, yeah, chaining old people together is pretty challenging, although this will be only his 4th ruler as opposed to Greece's 6th. All right, let's see what Greece here does. Okay, legendary culture event. He has gotten a 2nd legendary city and is getting an apprentice philosopher up, which really do not do that. You have jurisprudence in 4 years. Jurisprudence will give you the amazing, incredible, insanely good guilds, which lets you build an elder specialist without prerequisite specialists. So you could just wait and build an elder philosopher in 4 years. Similar, this apprentice officer, you're just wasting civics. You can just go straight to an elder officer in 4 years. Does not seem like he has noticed this. He does have vision of this city. He did put an agent. That's where that scout went. Okay. So there was a scout. It went presumably up this way. Which way did he scout? Yeah, it looped around. It came back this way, went up here, and became an agent. That's where the scout went. That'll be changing in a future patch. The scout will be still visible on the map, which will make it a little easier to track. So now he has an agent here and vision. So liking this play from IceMatrix, seeing what's going on. He sees this city is pretty undefended and can also see this here. We'll see if he reacts. He is still trying to clear this Vandal site up here. Looks like he has this settler that's been chilling out for a long time. He's also trying to do a little simul clearing here, which again, I really don't love. Or I guess this is raid management, but like generally you want to concentrate your forces and like eliminate one site at a time instead of trying to slowly clear 2 sites. Kiriyama definitely ran into trouble there before, and oof, some really rough combat with Kiriyama as the tribal raiders go in. And also, again, he's dealing with this invasion and also trying to clear this. So like splitting your attention, splitting your units like that, not advisable. If you like concentrating your fire, focus fire, all those things are good to do. All right, he has exhausted all his orders, but he knows his opponent has the central city. He sees this injured chariot. Curious to see whether he react. Does not look like he is right now because he's dealing with this. He should be able to clear this out next turn. Yeah. The settler's over here, though. Not sure if it's going to swing back over. It does have a lot of orders invested in improvement construction, all of 15, and 4 years away from the necropolis. All right, Rome's turn here. So he has finished researching administration. So he just got this tech here. He doesn't get rhetoric rolled up, so he does really want to get towards sovereignty if he can. There's the choice of architecture, stirrups, or manor, or doctrine. Curious to see what he picks here. Architecture could be good. It would help his science gap. He could build some baths here. He has some fresh water. So architecture could be a good choice. Get some doctors up and running. Doctrine, potentially, if he has some civics that he'd like to enact. And it looks like he did designate a new heir and or... Oh no, he didn't designate a new heir. The builder did inherit. But this is his heir. I'm actually not sure what motion that was, but yeah. All right, so the builder did inherit, and then we'll have this daughter. Is the builder doomed already? That would be really unlucky. Let's see here. Need to swap over to Greece to see this. Builder is blinded and a soldier, but not doomed. So 55-year-old builder. Yeah. Really hope Mohawk fixes this observer thing across different languages. It is very hard to observe. This onager has just been sitting here. Would love to see this move along. Notice how quickly it can move along the road network. And then this ballista would love to have a road network to continue quick movement for siege here. And I would love to see some forts and fortification here to make this a little more defensible, as well as improving this. Marble is really good. You don't have very much stone. You need money. Yeah, we will see. Right now, I think his hands are full. Even this super spearman that is so upgraded, has steadfast, and has horsebane. Even the super spearman is getting whittled down just because there's so many units here. This horse archer has had to retreat into this city here. So would love to see, like, screw clearing this right now. We need to deal with this raid. Like, focus your forces. Don't dally around, like, trying to fight 3 places at once. You don't need to clear this site right now. There's not a raid coming from there. You should go help. So maybe we'll see this move over. Because it's going to be very hard to clear 7 units with 2. Even if one of those units is this super spear. But like, this super spear is going to take at least 6 or 7 damage. So this is a really dangerous situation here. Some significant tactical misplays. Awkwardly, the champions really hate his guts. I think maybe this was the divorced wife. I'm not sure. She also really hates his guts. She's the head of paganism. This is really bad. Kind of impressed this is only minus 42, given that this religion is giving minus 200. Honestly, this is the moment where you pull out the spy master and you assassinate. because this does not feel repairable at this point. She's Numidian. She hates you because you've declared war on her people. Yeah. So almost anyone else would be a better ruler, a better religion head than she would. It's not worth imprisoning religious heads because that just pisses them off. They still become religious head, unlike oligarchs who are removed when imprisoned. So you definitely want to stab with assassinate, and both players have spy masters. So yeah, this is really rough. Minus 400 almost. That is brutal, especially on his champions family. Greece, hopefully, is noticing this, right? You can see if I'm in the Greek position, I've got perfect vision. I can see Furious family, minus 20 strength. This is not even a 5 strength axeman. So you can definitely see that by hovering over any of the units, or even just hovering over the strength number. So we have this worker over here. We can hover over and see Upset family, minus 5%. And Furious family, minus 20%. So good time to attack. Greece's opinion isn't great, but no one's furious. So we'll see what Greece does, or is Greece going to be content to sit back, build up? 2 years to jurisprudence. We've got some luxuries that we haven't assigned. Would love to see this assigned to cities potentially. That's each luxury can give you 2 or 3 culture if it's the same. If it's a desired luxury by that. For example, champions want wine. So if you put the wine into a champion city, let me find a champion city. I send the wine, I get 2 base, and then because it's champion, I get 1 more. So that's a nice little thing if you've already assigned that for the family, especially early game where you don't have that many cities, and this penalty for not having a particular resource. You can see here is missing luxuries dies. It's minus 10, I believe, per city. And since he only has 2 artisan cities, that's only minus 20. So early on, when you don't have that many cities, it's actually better to assign the luxury to the city that you want to get to culture. And then later, when you have an abundance of that luxury, you can assign it to the family to help with opinion, because it's much easier to deal with smaller opinion early. And the boost for the city adds up, right? 30 turns and plus 3 culture. That's extra 90 culture that adds up and gets scaled by anything else the city has as well. All right, so we're slowly clearing this here, dealing with these raiders here. Again, we've split our forces awkwardly. I understand dealing with the raiders, but like would have loved to see like just moving over here and like clearing everything and then clearing everything here. This kind of half, both players are doing this kind of half and half. It's not great. Love to see Rome pulling forces over here, but this is really brutal. And looks like Greece is just content to sit back here. 3 years on the necropolis, which is not particularly going to do much. It'll give him 3 extra civics in all the pagan cities. Law-wise, he still hasn't enacted his 6th or 7th law. He did have civics for at least 1, but I think he chose to spend them somewhere else. Not entirely sure where. Maybe assigning some of these guys. He still hasn't adopted a state religion as well, which is very useful. Yeah, he's getting jurisprudence. Guilds is going to be a huge lift. If he is getting guilds, though, would love to see not building apprentice officers. All right, Kiriyama's turn. Let's see how he deals with this insane Numidian invasion. This is not a great situation here. This super spearman is slowly getting whittled down by all these Numidians, and of course this raid from the Scythians at the same time. Not clearing these sites, really coming back to haunt Kiriyama. He kind of tried clearing all 3 of these sites at once with like 1 or 2 units each and did not succeed in any of them. That's now coming back to haunt him. If he had cleared it and settled these cities, he'd be in a much stronger position. Also really needs to fix the family opinion. The champions are minus 400 too, minus 200 from the religion, and then I don't even know, I can't read Russian, but like this is not a great situation to be in. Nicely use a route here to get some extra damage, but look, this Numidian is going to do 7 damage. This chariot attacking across the river is only going to do 4. It's a really rough situation here. He may actually lose the spearman if he's not careful. And the spearman has nowhere to hide. Like this unit can attack for 2. These are organized tribal units as well in a raid, which means they are smart. They are going to focus fire. They're going to get kills. They're not like normal raiders who just kind of do their own thing. Organized tribal units are out to kill. They are terrifying. He's building a hamlet on a hill here randomly. Not really sure thinking of this. Yeah, don't know what's up with this. Excuse me. I guess he's trying to solve his money problems, but you'd want your hamlet to be connected and generally try to avoid building urban buildings on hills. It takes an extra turn to do so. No scout, still no scout for basically 40 or 50 turns. I don't know when his scout died. He is finally building a scout here, so props to Kiriyama. Good, building a scout. Better late than never. So maybe he will go poke into these woods, go up here and poke around, although he knows those woods probably are in that city border. He does have a spy master, so of course he can put in agents in any cities that he wants. An agent in this city would give him a good amount of science, or even in this city, would love to see that scout move in. Agent here, and then agent here could help close that science gap. Science gap, sadly, is not closing. The military gap, both players have been going up. Here's the science chart. IceMatrix is almost doubling. Kiriyama has not closed that science gap at all. Can we get a road overview? Yes, I know. Hello, hello. Here is the trade network overview. So you can see Rome has not connected many of the cities and has done a pretty good job up till here, where they have stopped building roads entirely, so they don't have roads to their front. We can toggle over to the Greek view and similarly do a trade network view. Greece has been using the trade network pretty effectively. I think all their cities are actually connected. And then if we actually look at roads, not too many roads, a little bit of roading here to connect those cities. Otherwise, he's mostly been relying on the river network and, of course, just on his urban sprawl. We can also toggle back over here for the Roman road view. A little bit of roading here, and then it felt like he was roading to the front, got beaten back, and then forgot to finish the road. In fact, even stopped this ballista here. It's just been chilling in the desert all this time. So would really love to see some roads moving along here. It's important to get that road network. All your production pretty much is back here. Get this reinforcement. You got this free onager. Put the onager in the city. You're building walls. Put the onager in the city. Make it hard to attract that city. It's going to be very hard to get that onager over there in time if Greece moves in. Meanwhile, though, the biggest thing that Rome is dealing with is this tribal raid, an organized tribal raid from the Numidians, which presumably came from an event, and then a raid from the Scythians. So this is just looking really ugly. I'm actually going to keep the camera here as the turn ends so that we can see what the raiders do and look at how these organized raiders, what they'll do. I suspect this spearman is going to potentially die. It is definitely possible. This guy just needs to move over here, hit for 3. This hits for 1, this hits for 3, and then this guy can come over. Let's see what happens here. Will our super spearman die? Nope. Yes, it did. Oof. That's a loss. That's a huge loss. That's a horsebane spearman with steadfast that just got murdered standing on an urban tile. So we pour one out for this super spearman. Horsebane and steadfast got destroyed. Really would have liked to see it hide into the city. That's a very valuable unit that he just lost. This raid is just doing so much damage. This raid also doing so much damage. He almost is about to lose this spearman. I think I mentioned 10 turns or so. He really should have pulled a couple more units to deal with this raid, or even more to go clear that site. Instead, he's just kind of been using one unit this entire time, and he's gotten lots of stuff raised here and or pillaged, and he's finally pulled up a worker to repair it. But he's running out of time almost, and then this spearman will barely hold on at 1 hit point next turn. Oof. And of course, the biggest problem for Rome right now is his champion family hates his guts, minus 400 opinion, and the landowner family also hates his guts at minus 100. Really need to influence this Jewish head, convert to Judaism himself, which he did. It is the state religion. Influence them, intercess them, anything you can. You can probably... Yeah, or just get metaphysics, figure out some way to get your family religion, use your spy master to assassinate this religious head. Anyone is going to be better than someone who's minus 200 as a religious head. Also, she's Numidian and pissed because he's at war with the Numidians. Might have been good to remove her before declaring war on the Numidians. Or maybe there was an event. I don't know. I haven't been able to follow the events for Rome because they're all in Russian. All right, let's see what's going on here. We got a stronghold coming up here. Still no stronghold in his champion's seat, which is a bit of a miss. Maybe he will fix that. I don't actually see a champion's worker anywhere nearby. I guess there's this one over here. Would love to see that come over and start a stronghold. He did build a stronghold over here. He is on 5 laws. He did pick up legal code, which is a good choice since he hasn't spread his pagan religion very much. So That will be plus 50 civics a turn, which gives him pretty good civics income and more as he'll adopt more laws, and it'll help him adopt more laws faster. So I like that for legal code. You can also do legal code into divine rule later once you spread your pagan religion, but since he doesn't have polytheism, he would only be getting those 4 orders from the initial cities. He started a hoplite. Looks like he did get a stronghold up here as well. So he's getting a hoplite. He does have another raid, an organized tribal raid from the Numidians this time. That looks like the Numidians are raiding him. Looks like I missed that event as well. It's pretty hard to follow along with all the events. He's clearing this site and again is committing the same blunder that we've seen many players do. They killed all the units around the site. All that does is speed up the turn timer for another unit to spawn. So he's going to get another 6 strength club thrower or something similarly terrifying spawning. And look at this club thrower, 7 damage. This club thrower, yeah, this is, at least he should be able to deal with this, but you always want to, if you can, clear the site. And then here he's dealing with this, but these are terrifying units. Club throwers are scary as hell. They do so much damage. They're not as terrifying as peltasts, but they do have fierce. So they are 10% infantry. Peltasts are terrifying because they get plus 25% strength on a hill. Okay, we are getting a granary up by these farms. Okay. Wood is okay. Wood is okay. So yeah, that's totally defensible. Would love to see these improvements. Of course, the Numidians, he's still truced with them, but they did raid him. That's interesting. Not going to get this 3rd legendary city. Sadly, he is 4 years away and 4 years away. So maybe he will actually. Not sure how that'll work out. And 4 academies, no way in heck he's getting 4 academies. He is starting there's no academy. He just finished the library there. His science will continue to go up to the moon, 229 science. All right, let's toggle over to Kiriyama's turn. Let's see what's going on. He did lose that spearman. Rest in peace, spearman. Took a lot of damage here. And massive family opinion problems. Massive family opinion problems. Champions hate his guts so much. Part of this is just religious management. Definitely, it's one of the more complicated mechanics in Old World. Not complicated once you understand it, but just hard to necessarily figure out exactly how it works. It is all in the tooltips, but it can be challenging. So this honey and this ebony ain't going to help against minus 400. And large part of this is for that minus 200 from the pagan religion head. And then I think a minus 70 from her as well. She doesn't like him either. So that's minus 270. Yeah, so would love to see an assassination. Is that what that is? I don't read Russian. Yes, that looks like it's an assassination. So good choice. Good choice. It's either an assassination. I hope it's an assassination. And prison will not remove her as religious head. So yeah, sadly, I cannot read Russian, so I'm not sure entirely what that is. All right, so he's trying to clean this up. He's just down to the raiders from the Scythians, so he's cleared the tribal invasion. So the raiders hopefully will be a little bit easier to deal with. They aren't organized. Yeah, that is really rough. And of course here, he does need to attack this, otherwise this unit is dead. So hopefully he'll remember to attack here. But yeah, this is really brutal. So much damage done here. He's trying to build treasuries to fix his economy problem. Really, really not great shape from a money perspective. His economy is really hurting. He is very far behind in improvements. I think last time I checked it was 150 to 100, despite being on more cities, 11 to 7. Burning so many orders on these raids. The worst part is like he had 2 spearmen here 40 turns ago, 2 spearmen here 40 turns ago, 2 spearmen here 40 turns ago. If that had just been 6 spearmen here and done that, and then 6 spearmen here, he would have cleared all these sites, settled all of them, and been in a much better position. But instead, like it's been a continuous thorn in his side. And also, since the Numidian leader is also there is Roman paganism head, He did remember to attack, so thankfully we'll not lose this spearman. Another very highly promoted spearman. Dealing with those raids, really not a great position here. He is running what looks like an assassination mission. We'll see what that is. Unfortunately, I can't read Russian, so don't know what that mission is. 95% sure it is assassination. I toggle over to Greece to see whether I can at least see what the possible missions are, see if there's something here. Infiltrate, imprison, be a champion. I think you actually have to click on the unit you want to assassinate. So yes, assassinate via. So yes, there's a wisdom modifier. And yeah, I think I'm 99% sure that's an assassination mission. All right, so let's keep the camera over here on Rome just to see what happens with our insane, I guess, raid here from the tribe. They will deal some damage here. Yep, but fortunately won't kill anything, but continue to do quite a lot of pillaging. And looks like we have another organized tribal raid. Oh dear. Are these organized units? They are organized. They are raiding Kiriyama. He's got another Numidian raid somehow that is heading over. All of them are coming over. So the Numidians are going to continue to raid Kiriyama. This is really hard to deal with. He did over here on Greece. He has the chance to make his governor warlike, robust, or prosperous in his capital. All of them are pretty good choices, depending on what you're looking for. Prosperous is probably the worst of the lot. You can pick up guilds, which I would love to see. Stop this master philosopher, pick up guilds, and make it an elder philosopher. He's at 5 laws, so could use one. He's getting machinery here, 235 science, as opposed to military score continues neck and neck. Science is zooming ahead for Greece at this point. So Greece is sitting pretty at this point. Yeah, I think unless something goes catastrophically wrong, Greece should have this game won. And as predicted, this club thrower spawned because he isn't clearing the camp. He had to clear the units around the camp because he didn't have the strength to clear the camp, but that just speeds up the spawning of the units. And he does have an organized... Oh, this guy's not organized. So yeah, all the Numidians are... Oh man, this is really rough for Greece. All the Numidians are basically raiding Rome, which means it's going to be very easy for Greece to clear these camps if he notices. He does have vision here, hasn't done anything, has noticed the city, no pressure whatsoever, has an agent here, hasn't done anything. Rome does not actually have a scout. This will be Rome's first scout built for at least 50 turns or so. So this scout should pop out in a year. We're curious to see where he'll move that. Needs to remember about this over here. And again, this kind of split attack into 2 camps at once, really, really don't love it. You're kind of half-assing both camps. You need to whole-ass one camp. And yes, Greek's stockpiles are pretty low. He's pumping out units everywhere that he can, so doing a good job of doing that. Would really like to see him prioritize getting that 7 laws. He did pick up a 6th law, so he didn't pick up guilds, interestingly. He picked up philosophy. Definitely disagree with that. That only gives him 5 science. Guilds would give you so much more because you can go directly to elder units. Guilds is probably the most overpowered law in the game right now. If you can survive to get jurisprudence, everything just becomes, it's such a force multiplier. Because you can just print elder specialists right away. You don't need an apprentice and a master. It's basically half off elder specialists. Because apprentice specialist, if we look at an apprentice doctor, takes 40 civics. Master doctor takes 60. So together, that's 100. And then an elder takes 80. If you skip that, you just go directly to the elder for 80 civics. And also, it's even better because there is a scaling 5% per specialist built in a city. And you skip that if you go directly to an elder. So yeah, jurisprudence, really, really strong. All right, Rome. Rome's turn. How will Rome deal with this? And also, look, more organized tribal units. They're all coming for you. Maybe, oh, we've got 1 turn on this assassination mission. I see a Numidian courtier who is not happy because of the war with the Numidians. This head of the Numidian religion, or sorry, head of Roman paganism, is not helping. The champions still hate. Looks like another champion rebel over here. Or this is a landowner rebel. The champions hate his guts. Minus 450, more 17. Just dealing with all these rebellions, everything. Ugh. He has a state religion. He can convert potentially if he can improve relations with this. Maybe not. Yeah, I mean, he is doing the right thing in running the assassination mission. We'll see if it succeeds. Rome's economy is still in not great shape. He's trying to fix it a little bit with some treasuries, which will help. Getting a poet for some reason here. He's getting some disciples, so he'll be able to spread the good news of Judaism. It is up to 3 cities now, so that will help. Has not set up any mythologies yet either, or sorry, theologies like mythology or legalism at this point. Either is fine. Dealing with this, so much pillaging. He's still fixing this up, healing this unit up. Building here, this is such a vulnerable city. Reese can just walk in and take it at any time they want. Hasn't moved anything here for ages. Had a hero, never launched offensive with it. Maybe there was launch offensive, I'm not sure. Last turn. Not last turn, but last time. I forgot. This scout coming out, curious to see where that'll go. Getting some lumber mills. Trying to fix the economy. Dealing with rebels. Really rough shape. Old World's one of those games where you have to juggle, and it can be really hard to juggle. So many things to juggle at once. Oh, Kiriyama says, my game crashed. I'm going to pause. Okay, so Kiriyama crashed. So we'll wait for him to reconnect. Meanwhile, we can take a look at some stats. 20 workers for Kiriyama versus 14. 26 military units for IceMatrix versus 20. This was the other way for Rome. Now it's flipped. 11 versus 13 units lost. 97. 97 military units killed for Kiriyama. He's cleared so much more. Um, 9 camps versus 5. Welcome back, or welcome to this game, Gleese. Tech cost scaled in any way behind? It would not scale. There is no tech cost scaling. Techs are always the same cost. So the way the tech cost works is this is 80. This column is 120. This column is 200. This column is 400. This column is 600. This column is 1000. This column is 1600. And this column is 2000. And that cost is always the same, irrespective of who has researched what tech. Continue looking at graphs here, or stats. Techs discovered 28 to 28, despite IceMatrix's large tech lead. Longest reign, both players have gotten relatively unlucky, 39 versus 29. 8 courtiers versus 5, no ruins on this map, and 175 improvements to 116. And of course, 7 wonders to 1. Growth chart, civics chart, training chart, culture chart, happiness chart, science chart, money chart, orders chart, food chart, iron chart. Look at that investment from IceMatrix into iron, stone chart, wood chart, and military score neck and neck. Looks like we are back in game. I can play. Okay, that was old message. Play. I unpaused it. All right, let's see what Kiriyama does with his remaining 9 orders in his remaining 1 minute and 40 seconds, although he does have quite a bit of time banked. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I think different 4Xs have different things. Yeah, Old World does not have any tech scaling. Yeah, hopefully you're getting back into Old World. We've got some great tournaments games going on. And do join the Discord if you haven't already. The Old World Discord is definitely worth joining. It is very cool. I can give you the link here, which I should be able to post, I think. Oh, man. Should be the Discord link for you to be able to join. It's a very friendly group of folks on the Discord. And you can talk strategy, find folks to play multiplayer games, either through cloud or network, or just get tips for your single player experience. Awesome. Great to hear. All right, so Kiriyama finished all his orders. We're really going to be curious to see whether this assassination mission succeeds next turn. Smart play to get that assassination up and running. He is continuing to repair stuff here, building another hamlet to try to fix his cash flow problems. Yeah, IceMatrix sitting back, does see this city, he's not reacting. Oh man, he's had to pull back over there. Looks like this raid is finally dealt with, almost dealt with. Just one more guy here. So yeah. See here, 3, 2, 1, and then tribal units and this organized raid coming in again. More Numidians. And I guess we'll look for that assassination to resolve. We'll eagerly take a look there. All right, 27 orders for Greece. The necropolis is complete. He could get a free law, divine rule, which would give him 4 orders. Unfortunately, he already has legal code enacted, so probably doesn't want that. He would get scientific method in the sage's site or a bunch of training for 6 orders. And then he could have this governor become inspiring, eloquent, or frugal. So he did take free divine rule, which is an interesting choice given that he was running legal code. But he has decent civics income, so that's okay, and 4 extra orders can't hurt. This leader did become divine, and he did adopt Greek paganism as his state religion. He didn't have a state religion before, despite founding Zoroastrianism. So interesting. Maybe we'll see him go for monotheism and get paganism, polytheism. This is a giant sandstorm. Has done a lot of damage here. Oof, that is big sandstorm. Fortunately, it ends next year. But yeah, that's a lot of damage. He cannot attack into this camp. Midians are still at peace, fortunately. He's pulling back and healing. Trying to deal with this over here. I think if I'm IceMatrix, I guess it feels like he's wanting to clear this camp and then clear this camp and then clear this camp and then maybe go kill Rome. He knows Rome is similar and naive. Maybe he's waiting for weaker as his sign to go attack. I'm not sure. This settler has been here for 10 turns at this point, just waiting. Of course, it's always good to have a settler ready, but ideally you want your settler to line up a little better. Yeah, again, he's kind of just not attacking. Okay, good. He's pulled up more forces. Yeah, these are just, this family I don't think is very happy. Yeah, it's okay. It's not the happiest family, but there's a lot of damage that's going to go into these units. You see this come up? Won't quite be enough. Yeah. So this kind of, yeah, I don't know. I'd love to see a Maceman get pulled up there. Maceman would make short work of these guys. 9 damage. Yeah, Maceman would clear this out. Horseman, not so great in forest or on urban. And yeah. I think that the general takeaway here is like you always want to concentrate your forces, attack in one place at a time if you can. Yeah. All right. Rome's turn. Did the assassination work? Yes. The Numidian pagan head is gone. Now the champions are only at minus 200 instead of minus 400, and the landowners are happy. So well done, Spymaster. Excellent job assassinating. We still did get a rebel spawn here, the champion site, which fortunately should be able to clear somehow, maybe? I don't know. This scout did pop out here. He also has a scout here ready to go. Curious to see where that scout will go. He's cleaned this up. He's got another organized tribal raid coming here, but thankfully, the minus 200 pagan head is gone, and now he just needs to deal with minus 200 opinion, which I would have a much easier time with if I could read the tooltips in Russian. Still fixing this city. Would love to see this repaired. That's an estates in that patron city. That's why it doesn't have a timer on the repair. You can't destroy estates. Interesting. So, yeah, 36 to 31. Macemen produced here. Rome economy still not in great shape. Yeah, family, that minus 340 is from discontent. All his champion cities are pretty unhappy. He's gotten them whacked by a lot of raiders, which hasn't been great either. And yeah, doesn't have access to dies. Sadly, there are no dies on this map, or there are dies up here, so I had to clear that site, would have helped. Religion management, I think part of it. I'd love to see an influence on this pagan leader. That would at least like influence on the pagan leader, and then influence on this leader as well. Or, you know, yeah, I guess most of the champions hate you, so not really worth an assassination here. Maybe if you could luck into someone else, but yeah. Pretty rough situation here for Rome. He has unlimbered the onager here to help deal with the rebel. Ballista has not moved. Still no roads here. I said the ballista has not moved and instantly moved. Help kill this rebel. Yeah. Would love to see this maceman go over here and whack that rebel, but unfortunately we don't have the orders for it. But yay for the assassination working. I think that's the first assassination we've seen in the tournament. Yeah, the personal opinion isn't great either. Right, so he's cleaned up this raid at huge cost, and now has to deal with this organized raid just coming in here. All right, let's toggle back over to Greece. This scout did pop out. Curious to see where it will go. That was creating an agent network here. He does see this organized tribal raid against the Numidians, or against the Romans. Actually, let's stay on Rome cam so we can see what our raider friends do. So organized raiders move intelligently. Unlike raiders, they think about where they're going to go. So out of orders and 55 seconds left. Not sure why he's not ending turn here. Nope, looks like he is buying orders somewhere. Bought some orders with training, looks like. Maybe he wants to clear this somehow. Nope, not sure where he spent those orders. Didn't clear that. I think the correct play would have been to just whack that with Maceman. I'm not sure. Yeah. All right, let's see what our Numidian friends do as they continue to harass Rome. We might see another raid from the Scythians over here. Just really, really rough. Just not committing enough military in one place to be able to be effective, and instead kind of behind in many places. All right, the raiders are moving over here. Looks like these other raiders did not move, so he got a little lucky in that just this raider moved over here. Let's pop back over to Greece. Turn 100. We are 100 turns in. This game may go longer than my first round game. All right, he's got some, he does have his collar on the throne. He also has the Oracle. That's why I have 5 tech choices. Got the nice Goods Boost and Hydraulics. Personally, I would love to see Goods Boost picked up. It's such a good card. 400 iron, 400 wood, 400 stone. That is a lot of money and resources, essentially. Hydraulics maybe later. Goods Boost first. He somehow does not have navigation yet. Yeah, wow. Yeah, so he does have hydraulics marked. Curious to see nothing else is marked. We'll see what he does tech-wise. Let's see what's going on over here. These guys look like they're getting ready to attack the Numidians instead of the Vandals. This looks ugly. He did go hydraulics, not taking the Goods Boost card. Don't agree with that choice. Goods Boost is really good. That's like 4 years of income for all those things. But maybe he wants hydraulics up faster so they could get those mills faster. And Goods Boost is 200 science. So it's like a year of science for 4 years of income. That sounds like a good trade to me. All right, healing back, but again, not enough forces. This Maceman has just been chilling over here. It could have been pulled up over here and really make short work of this. This is just, I think this game is a great illustration from both players of the pain of not concentrating your forces. Always going back in for the Vandals, I think. Oh man, the pain of not concentrating your forces, the pain of not clearing barb camps fast enough so that they get upgraded to 6 strength and become real problems to clear. And then yeah, we've got some Macemen, 3 Macemen just chilling here. Each of these could come up here and just instantly obliterate this camp. Same here as well. I'm not sure why he's trying to clear 6 strength units with a 5 strength spearman and archer when he has better units available. Yeah, he's building a settler here. He has a settler here. Presumably he does want to settle these 2 sites. He can enact another law, his 7th law. We'd love to see guilds enacted and stop building this master philosopher, enact guilds, and build an elder philosopher. Guilds is probably the most OP law in the game because it lets you build an elder specialist right away without having to build an apprentice or a master specialist, irrespective of the type of building it is. Okay. Yeah, this dude's gonna take so much damage. So yeah. Pull up the Maceman. How do you not have navigation? Goods Boost into navigation. Get serfdom. 5 extra orders. Goes such a long way. He's building an onager here, so maybe we're going to see a slow push here from Greece at some point. Building a Maceman here. Both players shooting up tech-wise, or military score-wise. Only one player shooting up tech-wise. Greece is now more than double Rome's science production. So the longer the game goes, the tougher it's going to be for Rome here. This 8 towns legitimacy, or sorry, this 8 towns ambition is such a trap. He's got 14 years to do it. Can he do it? Probably not. I see a town that will upgrade in 12 years here. I see a hamlet. That's never going to get there in time. There's another hamlet. Also never going to get there in time. Another hamlet. Never going to get there in time. It's such a trap ambition. You only take it if you plan for it early on. Yeah, because it takes 40 years for a hamlet to go to a town. 20 years to a village, 20 years from village to town. Lighthouse does speed it up, but yeah, not really worth building a wonder to speed up hamlet upgrade times. Only really worth building a lighthouse on a map that is much more rich with sea resources than this one. All right, Rome did research this tech, which is manor, based on the law options there. And curious to see what we will get here. Would love to see, so he does have a 4th law available and he actually has up to 4 laws and I guess a 5th law available. Citizenship is probably what I would pick here, which would help with civics income. I don't think he has lots of pagan cities, so still issues with the champion site, champion's family. Looks like he's dealing with this raid, tribal raid. Presume the Scythians are getting ready to raid again soon. And then, yeah, we could see a quick attack on this to clear this out. Presumably we'll clear this as well with a ballista. Still no road here. He is building a hamlet network, which is like a very slow way of building a road. Still hasn't fixed his cash problems. Could move this maceman over there. No movement from the Greek scout here. Last turn. All right, that is the last of Rome's events, which sadly I cannot easily show to you because they are in Russian. I'm going to swap to the Greek view here. Take a look maybe over here. Trying to figure out where might there be an attack. Doesn't look like there's an attack over there. I'm going to grab a drink briefly. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. Kiriyama still taking his turn. 0 orders left. He did clear that rebel and did clear this rebel. So his scout, where did his scout go? Scout is in a city somewhere. It's here. He is not assigned an agent. So I'd love to see an agent assigned here so we could see inside the city. Toggling back over to Greece. Settler coming out. Settler's been here forever. Really struggling to clear this camp. Really struggling to clear this camp. It's been like 20 years clearing both those camps and no progress yet. Very similar to what was happening to Kiriyama 40 years ago when he was trying to clear 4 camps with 2 units each. Didn't work. Hydraulics coming up. Law did Kiriyama pick. Kiriyama picked citizenship. Numidians going here and raiding Kiriyama. Looks like they're going for this city, so maybe they will help facilitate some conflict between our players. Funeral procession. Alcibiades is dead. You could get a Lorien mine for a very expensive price. Could get another wife from the Numidians. Probably not a good idea because you don't want to. You're going to go to war with them, it seems like. And then can pick who he wants as the next religious head here. Greek family opinion is in much better shape than Roman family opinion, which is okay, except for the champions really, really, really hating his guts. Okay, and I'm not sure. Yeah. All right, so resolving the events up to 36 orders. Let's take a look at the order count. Greece is shooting up, largely because I think he's no longer building 15 improvements a turn. So yeah. Okay, so he pulled back all these horsemen and is healing up. Meanwhile, these macemen... Oh, did one of the macemen move? Where'd the macemen move? Did it move down here? No, that's a... Okay, one of the macemen moved up here. I was going to say, meanwhile, these lazy macemen that could help deal with this have not been up there. Like, he's had these macemen for like at least 10, 15 turns. Would love to see them move up there. Not really sure why he's building spearmen when he can build macemen. All right, finally cleared that, and it did speed up spawning this, but I think he'll have enough here to potentially deal with it. Although I really want to pull up a maceman. Like, maceman will help a lot. Well, that's also a pretty beefy camp. So Really rough with this clearing. My hope is that once IceMatrix settles these two cities, maybe settles this, maybe settles this, then we'll finally have some conflict again. Kiriyama has a lot on his hands with the raids, which is helping IceMatrix in that he's not getting any pressure down here at all. Inquiry 3, that's 120 science. I have seen a bunch of inquiries for Kiriyama. Tab through his cities. No, we cannot. I remember seeing inquiries in this city. We have seen... No, that's an uphill. It's not an inquiry. Maybe one of these cities? Yes. No, those are festivals. One inquiry here. So he's done these random inquiries, I guess, when he has scholar governors. Turning civics into science. All right, 14 orders left. Still building a master poet. You took elites instead of guilds. No, what are you doing? Why would you take elites? I think the logic here is I get 2 orders a year with legendary cities, and he is up to astounding 3 legendary cities now. Because his champion site got legendary, which means he did fulfill that ambition, I think. Yes, he did. So props to him. Champion City came just in time, so maybe that's why he was building those elder poets, or poets there. But yeah, do not love elites here. It is 6 orders, but you have guilds, which saves you so much more. You can get guilds, get all your elder specialists, and then convert to elites later for your alpha strike, store up 100 orders, use all those orders now. Then, yeah, like, all right, Kiriyama's turn. What will Kiriyama do? He's mostly amassed his forces, still no Scythian raid. Family opinion still in the dumpster with the champions. Looks like he is influencing, plus 40, yep. All right, he is attacking these Numidians here. Love to see at least the force concentration of forces here, which is good. Yeah, just really brutal here. Looks like a stronghold coming out here. He does have 4 laws. Do we see any Roman stasis coming out? I don't see any. I see a slinger being built. Very confusing. Unless he's planning for some sort of upgrade play, which I don't see right now. Let's see if any techs are picked. None are. He's attacking this site. This Greek scout put an agent in here, and the agent hasn't died. Still no agent in this site from Kiriyama, which I'd really love to see him put an agent in there. You can put one as soon as you set the agent network up. Nothing you need to remember. You just set one up right away, and then put the agent in right away. 7 orders left, bunch of events. Oof. Going for a little over 2 hours here. I'm hopeful we'll see this game come to a conclusion. All right, I'm much better hydrated now. Ready to cast some more for you all. Building a hamlet here. So the hamlets are 20 gold a turn, and they cost 20 stone. 20 or 40 stone? 20, I think. Let me double check. So since they cost 20 stone, and give you 20 gold a turn if they're on a trade network, which they really should be, that means that they cost 20 times 9.1 divided by 20 equals 9.1. Whatever the stone price is, they take that many turns to pay back. So hamlets are a very long-term investment. They take 9 turns to pay back their cost in stone price, or whatever the stone price is, that many turns. So if the stone price is 20, they take 20 turns. If the stone price is 4, they take 4 turns to pay back. So with stone at 9.1, I'm not sure I would be investing that much into hamlets, but it's still a 9-turn payback. But they also take orders. You could be doing other things. And ideally you want to put them next to your Odeon line, because they do boost the Odeon line. And he did so nicely here, boosting this theater. Rome, of course, does get hamlets from the beginning of the game because they get polis. So as Rome, maybe it would have been better to invest in those hamlets much earlier, so they could give you even more money, because then they are 40 gold once they get bigger. So hamlets, definitely something you want to build as early as possible, and Rome can build them earlier than anyone else because they start with polis. But starting a hamlet on turn 100, much more questionable at that point. You could have been gaining money from that hamlet the entire game, but did not choose to do so. All right, let's see here. Numidians continue to attack here. I think he should have enough forces. Let's see. Greece sadly did not get the goods boost, but does have hydraulics. Looks like we have vaulting targeted here. Okay, vaulting. Very interesting choice. Curious what we're going for vaulting for. We have a state religion. Our state religion is paganism, so presumably not cathedrals. What on earth are we getting vaulting for? We don't have monasticism, so we can't build monasteries. We don't have doctrine, so we can't build temples. I guess we can build cathedrals with vaulting. And then the choice of law is iconography, which won't be very helpful, since it will prevent the spread of anything that lets you, like, what cathedrals are we going to build? We have 3 cities with Zoroastrianism. Like, what on earth are we, like, I presume we're going to go calligraphy then for 10 culture a year? To do what? Even if all your cities are legendary, like, that's not going to be that many points because you don't have that many cities. You have 7 cities. If all your cities are legendary, you get 28 points, and you already have 3 legendaries. So there's 4 more legendaries, so you can get 16 more points on the board, which is, I mean, it'll be 16 points minus the, so like, it's just not enough, right? Like, we have 1 city at weak, 1 at developing, and 2 at strong. So weak, that's plus 3 points to getting legendary, plus 2, so that's 5, and then plus 7 points. So that'll put you at 45, 15 points away. Maybe get these wonders, build the religious wonder. Still not enough. Pella did just get legendary 2. It's a long way from legendary 1. Like, I don't think a point victory is possible without killing your opponent. You're going to need a city from them. I presume he's going vaulting for calligraphy to get more culture in cities. But yeah, I mean, like, let's find a strong city. Here's a strong city. We are 51 years away from legendary. Like, even if you miraculously get all 7 cities to legendary, you are still 15 points off of victory. Even if you build 1 religious wonder, 13 points off of victory. Even if you opulence all 7 cities, 6 points off of victory. Like, I don't understand why you would go calligraphy. Maybe happiness boost? You're fishing for happiness boost to at least clear off some of the discontent. Happiness boost is okay. It's all 1 happiness level in all cities, so that's minus 20 discontent per family. Really confused about this vaulting target. Vaulting before monasticism. Really confusing. All right, we're going into the camp for another attack. And notice this will produce 1 unit in 1 year, so it's going to spawn again. We're also going into attack at the same time in another camp. Can't even reach with this unit. Meanwhile, this lazy maceman is here, could help out a lot. And especially this lazy maceman over here would really help out a lot because it does a lot more damage. Could have moved them a long time ago. Sorry to rant a little bit here. We'll call it a coaching rant. But yeah, really just questionable choice of units to attack with. Just leaving your units sitting here and attacking with inferior units in both places doesn't feel like a great play. And vaulting, I am mystified by this tech path at this point. Vaulting before windlass. Bodkin arrow is on the board. You have pretty good wood bank and pretty good wood income. Cohorts is on the board. You have a very good iron income. Vaulting. And you're a scholar, so you can go to whatever tech you want. All right. This game is going to surpass my record for number of turns in the game. All right. Back to Rome. How's the Roman family opinion? Minus 3,626. The new guy took over as the head, and he hates them. Well, we know the solution. Spymaster, take care of this problem. Literally anyone would be better than this guy. So yeah, assassinate away. It's getting citizenship here. Does have some salt. Really don't love living luxuries to families. I mean, I guess it's helping here a little bit, but generally better use is on cities. It'll slow the discontent a little bit. And yeah, it's just a flat plus 20 on a family, I think. All right. Dealing with this organized raid. This is almost going to certainly raid soon again. He's kind of focused his forces. Does he have a settler anywhere? He is building a scout here. He has not put an agent here. I guess the scout is going to pop out in 2 turns. That will give him vision there. He's still getting rebels from all these champion sites. All right. All right. He at least has pulled in some acemen, which are okay against these units. Ironically, spearmen actually do more damage because they have bonus against mounted. So yeah, both players not making the right choices in terms of what units to attack with. Spearman is defensible here at least, or Maceman is defensible, but like Maceman here, Spearman here, guys. Use the units that counter the units that your enemy has. Macemen have a bonus against infantry. We got a scout coming out here. We got a settler coming out here. I think he's going to try to clear this site. I mean, fortunately for him, not very many Numidians left. He's at least concentrated his forces here, so well done there. Still dealing with rebels here. No road network. Still this hamlet network, I guess. Build a road, please. This ballista took some damage, I guess, from the raider. 3 orders left. What does the order chart look like? I guess that was order production, so slight advantage to Greece. Despite Greece not having navigation on turn 102. Seven-year Grove Specialist. We only have 13 civics in this city. Guess it's the champ seat. Settler, inquiry. All right, so pretty much out of orders here. These raiders are just standing here doing nothing. That's a known bug. Actually, they stopped standing something and they just went unattacked. All right. Let's see what IceMatrix does. Not getting guilds and getting elites. Oh, so painful considering guilds is the most OP law in the game. All right. Unassigned luxuries for a long time here. I think he's going to clear this site finally. Maybe. Where's another unit going to spawn? He's going to move this up there. 3, 3, so that's 9. And then shoot it. So yes, he can clear it. Not this turn. He'll just be one short, unless he gets a crit. Of course, he could pull up a Maceman, force march it, and would clear it this turn. I guess, yeah, that'll be almost enough. 1, maybe the crit? 10% chance. Nope. Fortunately, he'll kill it before it spawns another unit, and he has a settler. Got a settler. Where's our settler? Sorry, I saw a settler somewhere. He changed. Oh, the settler's already moving there. Good, good, good. Move over here. Looks like he's going to clear this, and then can pull up the settler. So yay, we're going to clear those Vandal sites. Amazing. We do have volunteers available. Would love to see your volunteers picked up. You can rush in all these cities. Volunteers. Although you can also wait to rush with something that you want, like an 8th strength unit, like a spear, like a swordsman. I don't really have good vision on what your enemy is using, your opponent is using, so it might be good to get some vision as well with your scout. We have the scout just chilling over here, taking in the scenery. Beautiful courthouse. Elder Acolyte. Onager. Or even Onager, looks like we're setting up somewhat defensively. Onager. Look at the mill graph. Greece has taken a significant lead now. Rome has basically run out of resources. We can see just all the econ graphs are vastly in favor of Greece. Order graph, Greece. Science graph, Greece. Culture graph, Greece. Happiness graph, Greece. Training graph is still Rome. Civics graph, Greece. Growth graph, pretty close. The big difference here is 8 to 1 wonders and also 187 to 129 improvements. Yeah. All right. We will continue to observe and comment and hopefully provide helpful advice to players. Yeah. The moral lesson of this game is concentrate your forces, concentrate your forces, concentrate your forces, both against your opponent and against tribes. Do not try to split the party. So she should be able to clean this up. The other moral lesson of this game is it's better to clear city sites, tribal sites ASAP, because clearing the unit just speeds up more units spawning around the camp. Apprentice officer in the sage's seat, onager. Yeah, we are up to 46 training here, 36 here, 24 here, 20 here. Kind of doing a bit of everything in every city, which I don't love. I want to specialize and focus your cities. Rome still as similar. Curious to see whether we'll see the free longbowman. Would love to see this. That's 2 8 strength units. Be very helpful for Rome in any confrontation. He did just learn. Yes, he is getting it. Good choice. Whatever the heck this law is, I think it's citizenship. And he immediately has not enacted yet. Doesn't have the civics for it. Does have 4 laws. Are we seeing a stasis anywhere? We did finish this stronghold, so presumably we'll see one there. Don't see any more strongholds. Presume he's very... Is that a stronghold? That looks like... No, maybe this is a stronghold? Nope, that's a hamlet. It's a garrison. No stronghold. So 1 stronghold. This city, which has 18 military protection. Our capital, oddly, does not have a stronghold. There's also only 20 training somehow, despite being the champion seat. All right, so we're going to finish this up here. Get rid of the Numidian threat once for all. Still massive family opinion with this champion. Not sure why it keeps going down. No assassination mission right now. Would love to see it. Oof. Longbow, though, will help quite a bit. Those are 8 strength units, 3 range. You definitely need some more range. That onager... Where did the onager go? The onager is like set up over here, sieging. potential rebels. We do have a no religion right now, or sorry, no theology. We do have this disciple. Potentially, he did found a monastery, so good to see that. I'd love to see monasteries going up everywhere. That will help quite a bit, science-wise. Monasteries, of course, do give you 2 science, 2 wood upkeep, 4 science in cleric cities, which is really nice. Okay. All right. Where's our scout? Our scout is popping out in 1 year over there. No more scouts, both players playing pretty blind. IceMatrix at least had some agents up. Kiriyama did not have a scout for like 50 turns and has not put in an agent, despite some agents being available. Nine orders left, has cleared this Numidian site. Do we have a settler ready to go? There's one 3 years away there. Don't see any other settlers. Still hasn't repaired this estates. So I guess we'll have a settler in 3 years to settle over here. Assuming Greece doesn't take it from him. All right, 7 orders left. Lots of workers idle. Only 8 improvements being built. Starting another monastery here. Monastery here next to the groves. Good choice. Boost those groves. Potentially you can help. We'll have to see land consolidation earlier, especially as Rome, especially with this many groves. Still have an unimproved grove here. This is worker count at. It's like a lot of workers actually. Not making use of them right now. And we're out of orders, but at least we've cleared this, and maybe we'll clear this soon, and then maybe this, or maybe we'll just go attack this. I don't know. Longbow timing, potentially. Who knows? Let's see what our raider friends do. Let's see if this bugged raider does anything. It's allegedly raiding Rome. So yeah, would love to see Kiriyama clear the other camps now, especially this Numidian site, which is denuded since he had to deal with all those tribal raids. Don't know that he can go settle this one, but he can definitely settle this and this. Would love to see another settler started somewhere. Would love to see Hastasis started since he's in 4 laws. Would love to see a stronghold started. No money though, so perhaps he should be quarrying more. Which I guess we're getting some quarries up. Would love to see some more mines. And we got some quarries here. We did finally road this. Oh, yay. So that will connect this city. And then I guess we can continue roading this way maybe. Rancher here. Interesting choice. Let's see what our Numidians did. Just wandering over this way. Just very confused. All right. Let's see what's going on with Greece on turn 104. All right. Scattered independence. It's this event. You could get a court soldier, court merchant, or 2 citizens in Pella. Pella has triple elder poets, so would love to see the 2 citizens. Of course, courtiers are very good. Hello, Sibang. Nice to see you. Welcome to the channel. You could have the governor. Rising Star sidelined. Pissing off the Rising Star, never a good idea. He pissed off the Rising Star. Oh boy. Oh boy. At least he's severely low. All right, so presume we'll clear this site and settlers ready. So I'd love to see that. Finally, some stuff. I will cry/laugh. He immediately starts the lighthouse because I think he's going for point victory, which is out of reach realistically. Because that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 8 points. Build the religious wonder for 2 more, so 10. That'll put you at 49. Okay, he has almost cleared this site. Should be able to do it next turn. Down to one club thrower, elite club thrower. Sorry, club thrower. He is founding here, Alexandra. Greece has built all the wonders except for one. That's how the point difference is that big. And the one that Rome built was Ishtar Gate, which gave him culture in all his cities. Rome is on 11 cities, but is very badly behind science-wise. Military score, Greece is slowly pulling ahead, but they've been neck and neck. But science is the big differentiator here. Greece, science curve, exponential increase. Rome, science curve, linear increase. All right, we have the 8th Greek city, and they have 8 laws to Rome's 4. Do we have a citadel anywhere? We're getting some mills going. We do have a citadel here. We do not have a citadel in the champion seat. We don't even have a stronghold in the champion seat. We have a citadel started here. Okay. And we just finished a stronghold here because we realized we need a stronghold, so maybe we're going to go get a citadel next. Yes, he's going for the first point victory. He's 20 points away. There's 10 more points of wonders available. Then I guess he can estate in 8 cities, and then that's it. And I'm counting the Zoro religious wonder as a wonder available. Unfortunately, Rome founded Judaism, and he has no Jewish cities, so he can't get Christianity. Yeah, so his cities are very high culture. He has Pella, which is legendary 2, because it's an artisan Greek capital. Trapezus, which is legendary 1. His champion seat is legendary 1. Then he has 2 strong cities, 2 developing cities, and this city that just got founded is weak. I presume he is going vaulting to go calligraphy for that 10 culture. So yes, if he levels up this city, which should be pretty doable, that's another point. This city, 167 years away, he's building a garrison and a barracks. This city, 3 years away, so like from cities, maybe he has like 2 more points. Like they're far away. Like the strong ones are very far from legendary. Like this is 1,500 away. Even if we get 10, that's 150. Like it's not going to differ. Not going to matter. He needs to attack his opponent and take his opponent's cities. That is a great way to get points. Highly recommended way. All right. Also, like, he should have really denied Ishtar to Rome. But yeah, it doesn't matter. Of all the wonders to leave out, if you're going for a point victory, Ishtar is really good. Here's the Scion, just since you're tuning in. Here's the problem for Rome right now. It's all in Russian, so I'm having trouble debugging it. I will give props to Rome for assassinating the head of Roman paganism, because she was a Numidian who he's at war with, and he had minus 200. But unfortunately, his champions, who are his most important family, given his military needs, and most of his units are champions, hate his guts. Would love to see him assassinate this guy, because almost anyone else in the family does not hate him that much. Yeah, no, this was down at minus 400 earlier. Minus 400. I have not seen minus 400. He's finally starting what looks like a stronghold in his champion site. He's only on 4 laws, so totally okay to start strongholds once you get 4 laws, although he got 4 laws 10 turns ago, so would have liked to see it earlier. Oddly, this city was the first stronghold city. He also did, like, both players have made a tragic mistake here in terms of trying to clear multiple sites simultaneously with insufficient forces. In the first half, Kiriyama did that. In the second half, IceMatrix did this. This has been 20 years of clearing these 2 sites. Like going back and healing, going back and healing, going back and healing. Pretty sure neither player knows that that killing units speeds up the spawn. Greece does not have any 8 strength units, despite having 7 laws, and Rome is getting the bonus longbow card. So Rome will actually be the first to an 8 strength unit, despite Greece having 8 laws. Impact on family units, it is pretty bad. Oh, he's got them to minus. It is minus 20% strength at 200 and below, minus 200 below, and it's minus 10% strength at minus 100 below, minus 5 at minus 1 to minus 100, and then neutral is 0, Cautious is 0. Pleased is plus 5%, and then friendly is plus 10%. New ruler in Rome also. This is Rome's 5th ruler. She just inherited an orator, which is actually helping quite a lot with family opinion, because orators are amazing because they give plus 40 religious opinion, which is actually helping enormously for him right now. So we'd love to see some influences go out. And look, his religious head already loves him. The orator is Jewish, so do some family conversions. Convert this guy or stab him, take your pick. Convert another guy, and then you can flip this family, because it'll be 300 against 200. And then over here, you can also flip this family, convert this guy. So yeah, this gal can do conversions. I'm pretty sure it's this button, but I don't read Russian. And yes, indeed, that looks like it is a conversion. Good job, Kiriyama. Way to go. You're going to fix your family opinion here soon. Convert the champions to Judaism, and you are golden. And you're going to have longbows, so I'd love to see it. And yes, family opinion is like worth a promotion or 2. All right. So he also finally cleared these Numidians. The Numidians sent a tribal raid, devastated him. There was lots of danger, lots of stuff. He still hasn't repaired these estates over here. He's clearing this out. He's building a settler here. No second settler still. His economy is still not great. He's been building hamlets on turn 100 despite being Rome and starting with Polis. So like there are some hamlets under construction here. Still has not built a road to the front. He kind of was roading when he was attacking, and then after his attack failed, he completely forgot about the road and stopped. Yeah, Polis, I feel like Rome, you want to invest in your hamlets much, much earlier. I'm not sure how I feel about starting a hamlet on turn 100. It pays back in whatever the price of stone is, number of turns. So earlier is better. So almost cleared this. Just the Scythians left, and then I presume he's going to get a raid here soon. He just has 1 spear. He defended it with 1 spear and like had 5 things pillaged. Would love to see another spear be pulled up, but I think his priority, like I'm sure this champion rebel thing is incredibly distracting. He keeps getting rebels everywhere. Fortunately, he has military units everywhere, so we can deal with them. But yeah, power science curve very much, but military curve also going Greek way. The Greek economy is just in so much better shape. We take a look over on Greece, which should be flipping over soon. So Kiriyama, you should, once you get an agent, you should assign it. Once you get an agent network, you should assign an agent in the city. This scout popped out, hasn't done anything since then, but we'd really love to see this like dive in, assign an agent. It's actually not a trivial amount of science, 11 science. You get 10% more science just by that. Of course, getting into the capital would be even better. Taking a look at Greece. Let's see what's going on with vaulting. All right. Ooh, crossbow card. Is he going to take it, or is he going to go for something else? You should take the free crossbow card. You should take the free crossbow card. It's going to be really handy. And curious to see what he enacts. Does he enact calligraphy as we expect? Expecting calligraphy. Curious law choice. Clear this, presumably. This scout got an agent network in here. He had an agent network in here, but I guess the agent died, and he still has an agent network thanks to the oracle over here. We are getting monasticism and leaving free crossbowman card on the table. This is, I would take 2 free crossbowmen when I don't have an 8 strength unit. Absolutely. Yes, please. Absolutely. Every time. I would also take in goods boost earlier, like strongly disagreeing with these tech choices. Also vaulting before monasticism. I don't even know what. Also, you have a pagan state religion. What yeah. It's 2 crossbows. It's great. You don't have an 8 strength unit. All right, good job getting the settler in position, although the settler was done 25 turns ago, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to be judicious and kind here. Help our players improve. All right, to clear this out. Yay, we have cleared the Vandals. The Vandals are dead. Good job. Did you get an event? Yes, you did. You got the Vandal clearing. Ooh, 210 science thanks to being inquisitive. That's like a turn of science. Or more culture in your culture city. Please take the science. Please, please, please take the science. He's not under attack, but you know what? He could go kill his opponent and end this game. military is good. And like, it's not like there isn't a city on his border. There is. Both players are just kind of ignoring each other and have been for a while. Also, in questionable choices, Scion, he picked elites over guilds, which I think people just don't know the good news of guilds and how freaking good an Elder Specialist is. So good. And also look at all that money too. Don't forget about 10 money a year for each different type of specialist. That's so much money. I think the elite 6 orders from his 3 legendary cities was very tempting. All right. He found it here. Yay. Oh, there's a worker moving up. Is it going to start a lighthouse? Is he going for a point victory? 19 points to go. 4 wonders left and a religious wonder. And presumably 2 more religious wonders. Maybe he's going to get monasticism here. He doesn't have any global Christian cities, so he's going to need metaphysics and a Jewish city. Or his opponent to research metaphysics. And yeah, I would definitely take crossbow card in a heartbeat. It is one of the strongest. Both free crossbows and free longbows are very, very hard to... what lets you buy orders with money? Very, very late tech all the way over here. Fiscal policy, coin debasement gets you buy orders with money. I think generally getting military units that are 8 strength is very good. Like free 8 strength military units, very hard to pass up. Especially when you're like, I think the general rule of thumb is if you're ahead on science, you can use science to turn into free units. Like you're already ahead. Two crossbowmen when you don't have the tech for crossbowmen is really strong. 2 longbowmen when you don't have the tech for longbowmen is very good. Free goods also would have been, he would have been one turn of science for 400 iron, 400 stone, and 400 wood. Would have been very good as well. All right, well, fortunately, Greece is done with his 25-year crusade against the Vandals. Now he can potentially go attack the remnants of the Numidians if Rome lets him. Our players are running out of tribal sites to clear, so the only thing left is for them to attack each other. Which, again, from the observer commentator perspective, we want blood. We want bloodshed. We want conflict. Yeah, so curious to see whether IceMatrix will build another settler somewhere and clear that last site. And then law-wise, he did get calligraphy as we expected. So let's check in on turns until point up. So he's going to get 1 point from Lictos going to strong. These are 5 years away thanks to the power of calligraphy. It's insanely strong. So that's 3 points from cities, and then everything else is 20 or more turns away. So 3 points from cities, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 more wonders for 8 points. So that's 11 points, and then religious wonder, 13 points. We are 19 points away. He needs to find 6 points somewhere, which he could do with estates everywhere and opulence. So victory is in reach. He could also just build opulence in all 9 of his cities and not have to build a wonder. So point victory is in reach. He doesn't really have the stone to start all those wonders. He has not given away the honey or the wine. One thing you can do is you can give the resources to a city. It will give that city 2 extra culture, so very much worth doing. Always very much worth doing. You can also give it to families if the families need it. I would recommend against giving it to families if the families don't need it. It also gets some happiness to those cities. And for the trader seat or anywhere with a fair, gives 4 culture. All right, Rome's turn. Let's see what Rome does. Rome is still dealing with the hell that is the champions, but at least is doing some conversion. Looks like he is converting this guy. If this guy converts, that will start helping this opinion, and this family converts. You just need to convert to that guy and another guy, and then Rome will fix the champion problems. Estates take a while to turn, and then it's 100 civics that you cannot rush to build opulence. Rome has cleared this site, and Rome has cleared this site. Congratulations, Rome. The crusade is over. Rome has gotten his free longbows. Let's find our free longbows and look at them in glory. Look at these beautiful. The first 8 unit cards on the board. And and there's a focus on one of them, and potentially a besiege on another. Love to see it. He has a choice of architecture, doctrine, bodkin arrow for more longbows. Doesn't really have the economy to support longbows. Or cohorts for swordsmen. And he's still only on 4 laws. So swordsman might not be a bad choice. And then just mine everything and then just go kill Greece. Alternatively, you could go for the slightly longer term play and get architecture, although honestly, turn 1 of 5 architecture probably, like, I mean, it depends on how you feel. What is your win condition? I presume Rome's win condition is go kill Greece, in which case you either need more science, or honestly, once you can reach an 8 strength unit, you don't really need more science. You just need more of the 8 strength unit than the other guy. Like, still significant money problems. Really not sure what the hell is going on with his cash flow. Would love to see tyranny enacted, would fix his cash flow problems instantly, but unfortunately has not researched sovereignty. Sovereignty is not in the draw right now, so I could see a case for going architecture. He's getting bodkin arrow. Do not like that choice. He has 7 wood income. What are you going to build longbow with? That said, your unique unit is melee. So, and you have a bunch of slingers and archers. So not a terrible choice, but you better, I want to see workers clear cut forest. Look at all this delicious forest to clear cut. Clear cut it. Cut, cut, cut. Chop, chop, chop. Upgrade, upgrade. All right, curious to see, we are starting another settler here, so he's going to try to found these 2. And I guess we're just going to let the Scythians be. Yes, chopping spree. Like, chop, chop. He needs to chop. No chopping yet, but if you're going longbow in 7 years, chop, chop, chop. Like, literally just chop. He also went statesmanless Rome, which is questionable. I think statesmen are too good to leave out if they're ever available, just because it's a lot of free orders. It's also 400 free civics on the site founding and a second decree, assuming you have a decree in your capital, or a first decree in case you're running tyranny. Yes, mass longbow upgrade could very much kill Greece if Greece keeps playing as if he doesn't have an opponent on the map. Ballista will help against longbows, so he's getting some. All right, we got monasticism. What are we going to get? Everything is marked. Oh, it looks like Greece also wants longbows. We're going to have a longbow battle. And for some reason has ballistics marked as well. Okay. He's getting happiness boost. Okay. Happiness boost is not a terrible tech. It's a pretty good tech. Don't disagree with that. Would love to see him get some eyes on his opponent. He kind of doesn't have any. I don't think you can be. I mean, I mean, you can always get more orders. All right, events here. The Rising Star is no longer Rising Star, so, you know, get some civics for making fun of him. His heir, Princess Sain. And then you could add a mysterious stranger to the court. I don't actually know what this event does. Oh yeah, this was one of the alleged younger brothers or something. And yes, I agree with Scientific. You can just expand directly towards your opponent. This was a pretty short, this is a square map. You could just go directly here and then have a nice road and say, hello, I'm killing you now. Like, honestly, on a square map, faffing around with tribes is very dangerous, because if your opponent expands towards you, you're going to have their city on your border, which is very dangerous. All right, are we going to see the lighthouse started? What is IceMatrix plan? How does he plan to win this game? He's getting a ballista here. Also, another point of feedback, Zion. These macemen have like been sitting here for 15 turns, and he was like flinging spearmen at club throwers when macemen were available, and flinging horsemen at club throwers when macemen were available and just did not move. He's building hoplites. Maybe he'll upgrade them somewhere. We do have a citadel finishing here soon. We still don't have a stronghold in the... Okay, we are starting a stronghold. in the champion seat, so would love to see strongholds being finished much earlier. And we're getting a citadel in the sage's seat, which has 1 ore but not 2. So yeah. Also, no navigation yet from Greece. Turn 106, no navigation. So, but to his credit, he's using the 2 orders a year per legendary city for something better than navigation, plus 6 orders. Unfortunately, that means he's leaving guilds on the table, which just makes me horribly, horribly sad. Like, horribly sad. He does have a museum, so he does have some elder specialists. I don't see any elder acolytes anywhere. 1 elder acolyte here in Pella. Starting a ballista in Pella with its almost 40 training. So ballista is going to be really painful for Rome. His longbows won't help him. And he has no horses apart from, I guess, some chariots up here. A chariot up here. And a horseman up there. Going to be very painful to face ballista. We are in turn 106 here. Uncharted territory for the tournament so far. I have not seen a game go this long yet. Although to credit our players, this is approaching the 8-hour mark, so they are playing much faster than the game that went to over 100 turns as well. Which was my first round game. So let's see here. We got some amphitheaters. Very unclear what the hell is going on with an amphitheater in this city. You're already strong. I guess you're trying to speed up the culture to legendary for a point, but dear Lord, that does not feel like it's going to speed it up very much. Okay, this is kind of the little bit of everything problem in every city. None of these cities are very focused. We have like some random barracks, some random Odeons, some random academies, some more random barracks over here, some academies. I guess we're going like wide science. Okay. Yeah. All right, happiness boost in a turn. Let's see what Rome does. All right, we got that settler coming out here shortly. Presume it's going to settle over here. Maybe it'll settle over here. We'll see. We'll see where that settler goes. Orator, which presumably he'll have for the whole game. He did convert this guy to Judaism. Would love to see another conversion in this family to pop this family over to Judaism, which will fix some of their issues. Probably most. Oof. All right, he is buying tribal units with an Orator on turn 106. Don't do this. Not worth doing. Not this late. Also not against the champions family. You know Greece has champions. Like, please don't do that. Like, no. Not this late. But tournament first, an Orator unit buy. And he's getting raided over here. Is he going to pull any more troops over here to deal with this raid? I'm not sure I would trade legitimacy for... All right, we've got a city over here. So he's found in the middle city. Presumably he's going to start... I thought there was a settler on the way. There was not. I presume he's going to start a settler somewhere to found over there. I don't see any settlers. That's a farmer. That's a rancher. Oh, he did put an agent in here so we can see what's going on. Good job. There's some onagers coming up. Looks like Greece is fortifying this line. It'll make it hard to get in, although he does have the city advantage 12 to 9. And this will be 13, 14, 15. So 15 to 9 if he settles his whole side of the map. But yeah, random Orator buy. I don't know. Like, please, yeah, like not on turn 106. How much even is it to buy? I can't even select the thing because it's not discovered. So, yeah, I can't select the units because they're not visible. All right, so we've got another raid coming in here. 6 strength units raiding. The spear will be able to handle them, but not all 3 at once. So they're going to pillage more shit. So pull up another unit up there. This free onager is just chilling here. We don't have machinery. We don't have sovereignty. We don't have rhetoric. But, I mean, if you can... We have seen no chopping either, so I'm not sure how he's going to afford these longbows. It's very important when you're playing the game to think about how you are going to... Techs are one part of the puzzle. You still need the resource to build the unit or upgrade the unit. All right, we are seeing a little bit of chopping here, so that's good. Yeah. All right, that is orders for Kiriyama. Let's pop back over to Greece so we can have the interface back in English. 8-year mine. How is this an 8-year mine? Did it just get attacked so many times? What? How is this an 8-year silver mine? Okay, well, it's an off-family worker. I am very confused how that's an 8-year silver mine. All right, 2 minutes left on Kiriyama. He's out of orders. Not sure why he's not ending turn when he's out of orders. Like you can do all your city moves on your turn. Heal and damaged and off family. Yeah. Well, normally a mine is 3 years, 4 on a hill, 5 for off family, 6 for damaged. I don't know where 8 does it push back every time? I'm really confused. Is it more if you're more damaged? I don't know. I never build improvements with damaged workers. Things I don't know about the game. All right, he's healing up these units. These units are just chilling here. Happiness boost here. What is Kiriyama? Okay, we got some roading done from Kiriyama here. Finally, he's begun to road again. Love to see it. So let's admire this roading. It's 1 turn every 5 damage. Okay, so it's a very injured worker. Didn't realize it was every 5 damage. Thank you, Scientific. So he's roading. Good job. Love to see this road. And love to see this road as well. Would love to see a road up here as well. This is interesting farming. Love to see a road this way. Connect everything up. You do have that raid coming. All right, it is Greece's turn here. Mercenary horsemen. Considering you can build horsemen, probably not worth paying them that much money for mercenary horsemen. Governor's dead. This governor can become Pathfinder, Prosperous, or Strict. Your ambassador can be Wise, probably get the culture. Although Family Opinion is looking really good in Greece now. Yeah. And yes, the Roman economy is not in great shape. Although it's in better shape than it was before. So it's actually all positive for the first time in a long time. Of course, Family Opinion also scales maintenance costs. So happy families are much cheaper to maintain. Unhappy families are expensive. So like we can see here, minus 20% maintenance. Curious to see whether Kiriyama will be able to get any of his families to friendly, which would be very nice as an orator because it will give him an extra order per friendly family city. Can be significant with as many cities as he has. That'd be 12 extra cities if all families are friendly. Okay. Will Greece take monotheism or polytheism? Given he's running divine rule, I would expect polytheism. So they can put a shrine up everywhere, since he only has 4 shrines in 4 cities right now. Getting some nets up. Also going for Bodkin Arrow, so we're going to have a longbow duel. Greece has a lot of wood banked and 84 wood a turn, so more practical. Let's take a look at his ranged unit. 4 archers. Can he still build slingers? He can still build slingers, which might be good too. Although he's got high enough training, he can also print out longbows. But he also has high enough stone that he can throw out some more slingers and then mass upgrade longbow and then say, hello, let's go. All right, so hopefully we're going to get the game done in the next 15, 20 turns, maybe even 10 turns. We're right at the 3-hour mark here. He's tutoring, double tutoring with a scholar. Love to see it. Although, not sure I would do it this late in the game, given that unlikely that Princess Sain, the tactics student, is ever going to rule. But maybe. But the game should be over in 10 to 20 turns here. Elder Philosopher, almost 300 science. We can look at the science graph. Military graph, still very neck and neck. I think the thing that's hidden and hard to see is just the total econ dominance of Greece. Like 201 to 139 on the improvements. Yeah, odd tech path, vaulting before monasticism. All right, he's pulling some units down, so like, I guess we're not going to clear this last city site of the Numidians. Not entirely sure why. Rome continued to buy Numidians with orators. I mean, 6 strength units, I guess, sure. But you're facing champions, and they move not well, so... But I guess you're Rome, so they get swift movement, right? So, I don't know. Definitely interesting play. Orator tech. No law adoption here. He is on 9 laws, soon to be 10. Running divine rule. Legal code could be very good as well with that many laws up. He actually did pick legal code first and then got an event to swap a divine rule and took the event. Building some quarries. He did adopt polytheism, so now we're expecting to see some shrines go up, although he adopted it late, so they can't build any shrines and has already made all his worker moves. So, usually I like to do events and laws first so that I can make use of any instant law changes, but we'll see what we get here. Stronghold, still no citadel because we need the stronghold first. We did find a citadel here, but we are not building a phalangite anywhere. I don't think we have any phalangites right now. Let's take a look at our military. Nope, just 2 hoplites that we have not pulled down to a city with a citadel to upgrade, which also, like, you can pull it down to a city with a citadel, like, say, this one, and upgrade it. I guess there's 1 turn away from citadel, but there's a citadel over here. All right, Kiriyama's turn. All right, we've got this raid coming in. Economy not in great shape. Really not sure what's causing this much cash flow issues for him. I guess it's just family opinion is just brutal because it is plus 50% maintenance in your champion city. It's plus 50% for Furious. So every time we tick down to Furious, we just get completely screwed on family opinion. Looks like he's influencing something. Let me check. Like, I honestly almost never see a Furious family. So plus 20%, plus 50% maintenance. Oh my God. That's so bad. That's probably what's causing his money problems because it's just making those cities explode in hands. Yeah, it's only plus 20% for angry. And upset, I think, is just plus 10%. Yeah, plus 50% is really brutal. Okay, that's where the money families are coming from. We can see it here as well. I know it's all in Russian, but you can see minus 82 for Champion City, minus 60. Although the other families aren't very happy either. I guess he's building a lot of farms that are giving him money. No granaries though in this farm, so I'd love to see granary somewhere around here. Like here would have been good. Got estates in that city. Non-repaired estates here. I wonder if that's a tech play so he can get more training out of that city. All right, he's attacking the Scythians, clearing out the last site. Bought some Numidians with orders. Looks like he spent 9 legitimacy already on buying things. Camping on that with the site. 4 years on a settler. No other settler started. So we're just going to do it one by one. Still dealing with rebels here. He is influencing this dude. He's influencing, hasn't influenced the pagan head. Is not converting anyone else in the family. Really would love to see one more convert. That'll be enough to flip. One more conversion would be enough to flip. Not sure he knows how the religious mechanics work. But yeah. Okay. I really wish there was like a bar in the family that showed like the religion. Like some of this could be pagan. Some of this could be like just the comparative religion of the family and a clear marker. Like I should write up a post of how to suggest that. Because I think it would help a lot in terms of understanding the likelihood of a family's conversion. Because it, like, I only know because we asked on the Discord and then documented it. But like, there's no way to know how those conversion mechanics work otherwise. And it is very important. Okay, so healing up. We've settled this city. kind of don't love these forces all over the place. We don't have any concentration. This is probably our largest concentration. And then we kind of got stuff all over the place here, and then one poor spearman that's not going to have a good time. Also, we're barely chopping, and we've got longbows in 5 turns. So how many ranged units do we have? We have, that's a ballista, that's an onager. All right, we have a slinger. So 1, 2, 3. Why do the slingers have different names? I'm so confused. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, some of these are longbows. So 1, 2, and I don't know what this is. This is a, okay. So we need like 700 wood to upgrade the ones we have. Slinger to longbow is totally reasonable. Build a unit that doesn't take wood, and then upgrade it to longbow. It's 150 wood and 50 stone. And you can instantly upgrade an army of slingers if you have the bank as soon as you hit longbow. So we'd love to see that, like, spit out some slingers. The upgrade costs exactly the same as it costs to build the unit. So you want to upgrade off the cheapest possible unit possible. There's no discount for upgrading from archer to longbow. So from wood, it is much cheaper. For wood purposes, it is much better to upgrade off a slinger because you're generally going to have more stone. Yeah, you don't need to upgrade along the way. You can just go straight from the slinger to longbow. Okay, so see what Greece does. 4 years to longbows for Greece. Tons of stuff in the bank. Continuing to build apprentice officers. At some point, I think you just say, forget about it, officers. The returns on the officer don't matter. We ironically did finally get tyranny, which has helped a lot with our money problems. So we're getting great training now. What are his training cities? Let's take a look. His champion seat is at 52, 39, 39, 26. How about Rome? Let's see if I can do this in Russian. Much worse, 26, 24, 24, 21. So much better eco and much better training from Greece, interestingly, despite the training graph. Oh yeah, the training graph actually shows Greece is ahead. Event, subversive. We could exile this agent, could assassinate the agent and become deceitful. Sadly, deceitful is just horrible. We could swap the legal code and get some XP. Probably not worth the civics to swap, especially since it's swapped already. Oops, not the button I want to hit. Just want to clear this event. All right, so he sees that Rome is getting rebels. He's got a bunch of onagers here. He built a ballistae. Let's just take a look at how much damage this ballistae will do. This ballistae will do 11 damage to a maceman and do 13 damage to a spearman and do 10 damage to a maceman on an urban tile. So ballistae will be very bad for Rome. Rome does not have any units apart from, I guess, chariots. Starting worker over here. Getting a windmill. Really questionable windmill position. What is this windmill going to do? Here's another windmill. No, it's a hamlet on a hill with a road network. Put the windmill here. Like, citadel here, academy. Here's a windmill next to some lumber mills. Good. Would love to see another lumber mill here. Mill placement. That's another good video. Citadel here. We're going to have so many cities with citadels. I guess we have a lot of strong cities. Okay. Greece is getting to the point where, like, not really sure, is he just playing defense? Like, I feel like as soon as Rome attacks, Greece is gonna like panic pull all his units somewhere, but like, you could clear this Numidian site. I'm not really sure why Greece has left these guys alive. They're going to raid you at some point. Or maybe they'll go raid Rome instead. And then Rome will settle right there. Yes, that is a windmill next to 2 farms. So there's no benefit to this windmill apart from the 2 science it provides, where this could be Yeah, maybe he thinks windmills border expand. That's all I can think of, that he thinks he can get some quarries and a lumber mill here. But windmills do not border expand because they're rural. Elder Philosopher. Phalangite, we have our first 8 strength unit coming out for Greece. Our first produced 8 strength unit of the game. 10 laws active. Liste. Worker up here. 33 orders left and 2 minutes. Not sure what's going on here. Right, we're getting some, I heard an upgrade sound. It sounded like an upgrade sound. Not sure where. Getting a range here. Granary. Academy and Citadel. Slightly confused about the layout of these cities. All right, we are attacking the Numidians. War with the Numidians. This is the last Numidian site. Goodbye, Numidians. Get trees, and then promptly did not move into trees. All right. He's getting an agent network up here. Put a scout in there. Doesn't have an agent here, but has pretty good vision. Still has his agent over here. 3 years to Bodkin Arrow. He's actually going to beat Rome to Bodkin Arrow. Not going to hit this town legacy. This is such a trap ambition. It's not going to hit this scouting legacy. Such a doable ambition, especially with the Spy Master. Do players not know about the infiltrate button? That's like a free way to complete that ambition. Infiltrate reveals all the territory of your opponent. Doesn't give you vision, but it does tell you all of it. So right now, this is all Greece has seen. Infiltrate would instantly finish that ambition without even any scouting. This is all Rome has seen, also unaware of the infiltrate mission. I think we need videos on what every counselor position can do. Dear Lord. All right, let's see what Rome does. This tournament was open to everyone, so we accept all skill levels. Hopefully this video, if our competitors watch it, will be helpful, sort of as a coaching video. Hopefully I'm not being too mean. I'm trying not to be, I'm trying to be constructive, but sometimes I am baffled. So this is a lower bracket game, which means both these players lost their first round game. But yes, all skill levels are welcome, and we're very excited that so many people are getting into multiplayer. So we'd love to see another military unit get pulled up here, because these are 3 raiders coming in that he sees, and 1 spearman. We'll not really be able to deal with them in an efficient way. You can slowly whittle them down. The problem is the raiders will go around the spearmen and start raiding and start destroying everything else. So liking this monastery building. Would love to see more chopping. We do have a little bit more chopping. Unfortunately, this worker is going to get annihilated. Really need to defend it. Unfortunately, you've chopped your woods that you can stand in as well. Don't see another. Maybe we'll clear this camp and then kill that camp. I'm not sure. I see another settler here. You have 2 sites you want to settle, so probably would love to see another settler. Right, the scout did pop out here, so he has a little bit of vision from the scout. No agent assigned. Did assign an agent here, and does have an agent in the capital, which is love to see it. Would actually swap this out for this slinger, for this other agent, because there's more science in the capital. I'll show this on the Greece menu, but the same thing is true here. If you click on the house button and then click show cities with agent network, you can actually see all the cities, and then you can actually sort them by science. So you can know which city has the best science to put an agent in, which can be very helpful for making sure you're maximizing the science you can get from agents. It's a little hidden there. Probably a video about agents, dear Lord. So many video ideas from this tournament. Back to Kiriyama's perspective here. We've got 8 orders left. How's our family opinion doing? Hurrah! Our champions are now only upset, which means we will finally have no more rebels. And they still haven't flipped. Would love to see that religious conversion. But maybe we are converting. What are we converting? Looks like we're converting a champion dude. This guy. Dude with laurels on his head. Doesn't really narrow it down. It's this guy. Perfect. That is absolutely the correct one to convert. So this should actually flip the champions to Judaism, which will help enormously. That'll be a plus 160 boost, and the champions will no longer be upset. Yeah, so good job, Kiriyama, fixing that religion. But dear Lord, minus 400 champions. If it weren't in Russian, I would have a better understanding of exactly what the hell went wrong. Because I think part of it was a Numidian pagan head, and you had war on the Numidians, so it was minus 200, and that was brutal. But there was something else as well, because like the champions were... And our money situation is a lot better now that we're no longer at plus 50% maintenance for those families, although it's still not great. Some chopping, good. The workers got out of the way. And I guess we're waiting for these guys to pillage. Not really sure. Would love to see any other military unit get pulled up. Fortunately, you don't see any. We're getting some, looks like woodcutters. This longbow is chilling over here. This longbow is chilling over here. Yeah. Okay, let's toggle over to Greece here. Presumably Kiriyama is going to finish their turn since they are at 1 order left. Indeed, there we go. All right. Some good roading. Love the roading, especially a road up here will be good so you can bring those forces down, concentrate forces. 2 years on Bodkin Arrow. Quickly checking here on Rome, 4 years on Bodkin Arrow. So Greece is actually going to beat Rome to Bodkin Arrow. Ancient Lessons, got a tutor event, Inspiring or Educated. Both are pretty good. I've got to finish in 15 minutes at Kiriyama, so we may have a 13-year I'll let Kiriyama know to say that in-game chat that he needs to finish in 15 minutes. So I think we'll be going to a part 3 of this epic showdown between Greece and Rome. Unfortunately, I think this one is very likely decided, barring some enormous tactical misplays. 340, almost triple science. Middle score is very close, but Greece is edging ahead, and also it has a much better economy to support this. Maybe we'll play to the end of this turn, and then try to pick it up again and continue to part 3. And he has cleared this Numidian site. We'll not get the Numidian clearing event because there's still 1 Numidian left. Did get a horse archer somewhere. And picked bold. I guess the tactics student, so that makes sense. Got a cunning, tough, bold 13-year-old tactics student. Okay. IceMatrix does not seem to have acknowledged that message. Maybe he will reply after his turn. Justice officer here, we just... So this is, I think, a trap that it's very easy to fall into. You're just kind of building to the moon. You're not building for anything. You're just getting improvements and specialists because you can. At some point, you do need to figure out what your path to victory is and what your win condition is. Just like... Also, yeah. I don't know that we necessarily needed 3 legendary cities. I know we had ambition for it, but sometimes those are just not good ambitions to pursue in multiplayer. Like, honestly, getting an apprentice officer in your champion seat is a much higher priority than getting an elder poet, especially 3 elder poets before you have a single, like, yeah, I don't know. No need to build all the buildings everywhere. Specializing your cities is very useful. Building a little bit of everything everywhere. At least good job here using Shrine of Athena and the adjacency for courthouses. Love to see that. But then the ministry is over here inexplicably. You could put it here, and then you would get the benefit of that one more adjacency. Or no, I guess, yeah, okay. So you're just, yeah, so. Right, so I guess we will go to part 3. Be very surprised if IceMatrix does not win this game at this point. Honestly, it looked pretty dicey after Kiriyama attacked, and it's only gotten more so. Although, they're still very close parity-wise on military score, so some tactical misplays or a focused attack when forces are in the wrong spot could quickly change things very, very fast. I would not recommend Kiriyama attack into the onagers. That will be effectively impossible. He is building roads. It might be fun to go around here, split the empire this way, or do something like that. But yeah, I think attacking into this is just not going to go well. You don't want to attack into that many onagers without a way of dealing with them. He doesn't have war elephants. I guess he could build a war elephant. Are there even war elephants on this map? Presumably they are. Ping IceMatrix. Make sure that he can see that. Yes, you can definitely set like hexagons for stronghold garrison ranges. No things have changed around improvement placement. And in general, adjacency for improvements are kind of a nice to have. It's much more important to get the improvement down than it is to get the perfect adjacency. That said, like this could definitely have been optimized better, right? It's not vital to optimize, but like it could have been optimized better. Right. So libraries and courthouses are valuable to have. I like having them in my science city. And I also like having courthouses in my civics city. Sometimes I like to run a science city and a civic city. Obviously, the science city is also a civic city, but sometimes I like running a pure civic city for things like Statesman Decree. That said, that is somewhat of a luxury in multiplayer because people will try to come kill you before you can set up your nice, pretty civic city. It's very rude of those people. How uncivilized. But hey, look at history. Rome fell to barbarians. Similar, you know, they had great civic cities too. Libraries are pretty good. The library line is a great boost in science. All 3 together is plus 60% science in that city, which is better than a wonder. Better than the museum wonder specifically. That's the mausoleum. Where's the museum? All right, he built it over here. There's the museum. $53 science in that city and 52 in our capital. And 79 here, interestingly. We didn't build the museum here. Yes, this one has scaling from library and academy. I think he has an ambition for academies, which is why he's 3 universities. Phalangite here, another phalangite here. Pop back over, see what's Rome. Rome is over. What Rome is up to. Getting a very injured warrior or worker building stuff. We do have a road. We do have longbows on the way. 3 years away from longbow. We're doing some chopping. This is just ugly. We really need another military unit. Needed one several turns ago. We're finally building a road this way. That we have a river network, so I'm not entirely sure about that road unless we're hoping to build siege units up there, which doesn't look like we are. We are finally moving this onager forward. So unfortunately, it does feel like he's going to have to try slamming directly into its champion seat when there's much better places to attack. Another road this way. Haven't really cleared this site yet. Right, we've cleared the site, but we haven't killed the units. Yeah, some chopping here. So that's good. It does need to finish this military moves here. At least kill that unit. Don't leave those units dead. Okay, good. He got it. Generally, I like to do military units first. Military moves first. Looks like Kiriyama's got about 5-6 more minutes to play, so might be worth pausing at the end of this turn. IceMatrix does not appear to have acknowledged the message. Fortunately, as an observer, I can't type. I have pinged IceMatrix in chat. Trying to ping him there. Sand can be rough. You can't build on it unless you're a cleric's nation or a cleric's family, and then you can, or unless there's an improvement you can put. So you could put a mine on the sand because it is hills, and you could put quarries on this sand, but this sand would be completely useless. You can't build a road on sand, which is unfortunate. The other fun thing you can do with sand, if you're not a cleric's nation, is or a cleric's family, you can just build a wonder on the sand, and that does count as an urban tile. So if you ever need to build a road on sand, just put a wonder there. It's just as good as a road. A little more expensive, though. All right, I pinged ice. Mathematical breakthrough, 470 science, which will get him this instantly. Presume he's going to pick that. He took a courtier. Volcanic eruption in Rome. Ooh, we have our volcanic eruption. We could look at this off the map volcano. So really no damage done. I get a nice positive event off of that. And IceMatrix, I think, just does not see the message. This, I'm going to actually, I'm going to pause here so he pays attention. Not appear to be noticing, still resolving events. I'm going to take a save here. Oops. Thank you, Kiriyama, for posting in-game chat. IceMatrix still using orders. Still attacking up here. Making a settler now. Just not seeing messages. Unfortunately, I can't type as an observer. He will notice a disconnect, so hopefully he will notice here that his opponent says he needs a pause. It has been 3 hours here, 3.5. So pause the timer. He's like doing an Olympiad 4. So Olympiads are weird in that you want the Olympiad early unless you're trying to get training out of it, which, I mean, I guess if you're doing mass upgrades, then maybe that's actually, yeah, that's a good use of Olympiad if you just need more training as opposed to rally troops. How much is rally troops right now? Rally troops is 330. So Olympiad's good for last minute training. I personally really love Olympiad for the 1 training a year base it gives, because that's insanely good. Like, that's base training that gets scaled. Hard to slip in there somewhere, but it is very good. IceMatrix is totally not paying attention to chat or Discord, unfortunately. Grab another save here. He's like in some sort of meditative trance or zone. I know, Zion. Like, he's in the zone. He got his thing, not seeing any messages. Not sure where this list is going. All right, I think we're gonna pause. Okay, sorry, just saw, he said. Great. Okay, perfect. Wonderful. Thank you so much for watching part 2. These players will coordinate when part 3 will happen. We will try to get someone to stream it. It might not be me. Pretty big science difference here. Pretty big military difference beginning to depart here. Enormous economy difference at this point. You can see every single production graph. IceMatrix is up. That said, not necessarily over, but very much over, barring some huge tactical misplays. 211 to 142 improvements. He has outproduced Rome by military units 37 to 21 at this point. So, yeah, and is upgrading to longbows. Okay, so I think that's it for game. IceMatrix did acknowledge the message in Discord, so hopefully the players will coordinate and set up another time. No, we just ask players not to watch the VODs. I will post the VOD for this afterwards. But yeah, we ask players not to review the VOD, so we trust our players. It's a very honorable system. Also, Old World is kind of the sort of game that even if you have perfect vision of what's about to happen to you, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be able to stop it. And I mean, there is perfect vision available in-game as well with agents, should you so desire it. All right, I think that's it. So thanks again for watching. There were some cool graphs and stats that I just showed, and I'm going to stop recording here and then just lost connection to the server. So the players have stopped as well. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening, or night, depending on where you are.